Hopefully the sucker doesn't putz out on us. Going live. We're live.
Are we live?
We're
So
live.
if your internet drops, we're out. I mean, right?
Yeah, we're totally screwed if my internet putzes out. But I did a speed test. I'm at over 400
Yeah,
Mbps, so we should be good.
should be.
We should be good.
Famous
So
last words.
I actually wrote a. So how's it going, everyone? Welcome to the live stream. I'm going to do what I usually do and shout out some people that are in the chat here. But first of all, I want to introduce our guest because I actually wrote you an introduction.
Really? Oh
I
shit!
did.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
So the last live stream I did was with Ethan Page. He's a pro wrestler, formerly of Impact Wrestling. I wrote him an introduction, and I did the same for you. So here we go.
Do I need to be off stage or something and then come through the?
Yeah, cue the pyro.
Yes. I've always wanted an introduction.
Yeah, I don't have any like intro music for you.
It'd probably get. YouTube would probably say, "Hey."
Yeah, I'd get dinged for that.
Yeah.
It's just Justin Roberts here. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special guest tonight. He is the face and on-screen talent of one of my favorite YouTube channels, the Fwoosh. He's a close personal friend of Gus the Range Trooper. He's the proprietor of a beautifully manicured and finely sculpted crumb catcher. And much like Seamus O'Shaughnessy, Andrade Cien Almas, and Big E Langston, he dropped his middle and last name and now goes by just one name, formerly known as Robo Theodore Killington. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Robo.
Wow. I am honored. That was amazing. Pyros. It's in the no pyro era.
Oh, yeah.
Vince said, okay, we can spend money on it again.
Now, would you be a face or a heel if you were a wrestler?
Oh, I'd probably, as much as I'd want to be a heel, management would just say, no, you're a face.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, yeah, I'm a face. Okay.
Yeah. I'd be face too. As much as I want to be a heel, I'd be a face.
See, that's why I live stream with Wade sometimes. He's
the natural heel.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys. All right. So let me take a look at the chat here and shout out who was here. So Sprue Hunter was here early. Crimson Geek, Jacob Angelo, Cheerio. It's Joe E, Gilster 37, Gross Misconduct, Toy Avenue, GeForce Racing 20, Silverhawks for Life, Mando 828. Mando 828 actually said something, and I copied and pasted it so that I could run it by you. So Mando 828 said, something I just found out about Robo. He don't live very far from me, and it's nice to have a fellow Arkansan, especially another collector. Now, the thing that I found interesting about this is I had no idea that you guys are called Arkansans.
Yeah.
I thought it was Arkansasians.
No, that's way too many syllables for Arkansans.
Yeah. Arkansans.
Yeah, or Arkies.
Arkies. I like that more. That's cool.
See, I'm on the border too, so there's Okies and there's Arkies.
What are you on the border of? What other state?
Oklahoma.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow, you're west.
Oh, yeah, I could throw a frisbee across the Oklahoma border from where I am right now.
Oh, wow, okay. So you're not, so Little Rock's on the east side. You're on the west side, right?
Little Rock's central.
Okay.
Joplin's on east side.
Oh, okay.
Memphis way.
Okay. Isn't there a big toy store in the Joplin area?
And it's not, sorry, Joplin, Jonesboro, east way. Joplin's north of me. And yeah, there's a Vintage Stock home office. Vintage Stock's like a Midwest type comic book chain type thing.
I think on one of my road trips from Texas to Ohio, I roadmap. Sometimes I roadmap it based on where toy stores are.
I know.
Don't tell my wife. But I think I road mapped it like from Dallas through Oklahoma one time to try and go near a toy store in that area or something like that.
Tulsa, Joplin, Kansas City, Vintage Stocks are the place to go. It's kind of like Hastings, but smaller.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
We used to have Hastings here, but I think they closed down.
Yeah, NECA owned them before they went bankrupt.
Did they really? I did not know that.
Yeah, and they all went out at the same time. I miss Hastings. Never bought much from Hastings because they kind of jacked the prices up, but...
That's true.
Yeah, it was nice to go in there. They always had Hot Toys, glass cases.
Oh, they did?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know they had Hot Toys.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that there was a Hastings in Dallas when I first lived in Texas, and they always had stuff that I couldn't find elsewhere. So I always I thought about, because it was like an hour and a half drive.
Mm-hmm.
I never went there, but yeah, they always had like NECAs that I couldn't find.
NECA and not so much import. There towards the end, they changed the middle into, if you didn't know any better, you would think you're in a comic shop.
Really?
They had long boxes and back issues and glass cases, and the place was a mess.
Yeah,
You had to dig through stuff, but
that
it was
sucks
cool.
that they went out.
Yeah,
they went out.
yeah. Even them and Toys R Us, really limited options afterwards.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, so we are here to talk about stuff from 2020, not necessarily just figures. We're going to get into some action figure talk. We're going to be here for a couple hours, but we also want to talk some wrestling, because both Robo and I are huge wrestling fans. And I have a couple pre-prepared questions that I'm going to propose to Robo. But also, we're going to be interacting with the chat. So if you guys have any questions for Robo or myself, please post it in there. Hopefully I get to it. Hopefully I see them. But thanks for everyone that is here right now. Let's see here. So do you want to get right into it?
Go right into it. You want to talk about how much G.I. Joe sucks, like we were talking about before you actually went live?
Yeah, we were talking for a good 10 minutes about G.I. Joe Classified and how much it. So just to let you know, that's my favorite line of last year, but I equate it to a toxic relationship, because I love to collect them, but they hate to be on the pegs for me. So I'm like a battered wife when it comes to me and G.I. Joe Classified.
I mean, we were hoping for the best after Marvel Legends.
Yeah.
Seemed to sit a while at Target. Oh, I can get the Storm and Thunderbird pack easy. G.I. Joe's gonna, make a turn. It didn't make a turn. At least not yet.
Yeah. I hope that they see that these things are freaking selling out at all these Targets, and they start upping their quantities, because a case of 6 Vipers, not gonna cut it.
No. And making an army builder an exclusive. That's just insane. I understand. I think it all goes back to the movie being pushed. They had big plans for movie stuff, I'm sure. And then suddenly, you can't sell any of that. I know your line's hot, so let's try to figure something else out. And they're still stumbling.
Yeah.
It's the only thing I can even fathom.
So Robo did go to Target today and unfortunately struck out on getting the Viper and Firefly.
Zero. Nothing. Empty.
Yeah.
Of course, I knew that before. I mean, you can check Pop Finder now and go, but maybe they will be there.
You have hope. On the page. A glimmer of hope that there is some there.
Well, it showed 6 Jar Jars in stock too. That's why I headed over there.
Okay.
To make sure. But no, empty Star Wars, empty Marvel, empty Fortnite, empty wrestling, empty everything except for Transformers Thrust. There was only 6 of those on the thing. That was it. So
no Jar Jar, even though it showed them in stock.
No Jar Jar.
Wow.
Still showing them in stock. I've got it on my phone to where all I have to do is still 6, still 6, still 6. Because as soon as one sells,
then you know that they're out.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah. So we were talking about G.I. Joe Classified. Let us know what you guys think about that line. Again, it's my favorite line of 2020.
And you found Viper.
I found Viper. Yeah. He is badass. Yeah. He is. I want to include him because I haven't done my top figures of the year. I want to include him in my my top of 2020, but I got him
the day after, right?
Yeah, a day into 2021. So I'm gonna have to wait to include him. But he is awesome. He's badass. When you get him, you're gonna love him. But he's cool.
I'm only shooting for 1.
Yeah, see, that's the thing is originally I was like, when I went to this store, I was like, I really want to get 2. I just need 2. But then I thought, I don't need 2. I just need 1. So I actually, after getting this one, I had 2 of the Cobra Troopers on pre-order at Big Bad, and I actually canceled one. I'm like, I just need 1.
Yeah. Don't need an army build. I'll get 1 of those since it's different from the Cobra Island one slightly. But yeah, I'm not. It's hard enough to collect. I'm not going to army build.
Yeah. All right.
Somebody just asked if that was the Branson Target. No, that's a couple hours north. Johnny Law. That's a couple hours north, but on my Pop Finder thing, it's a 100-mile radius, and a 100-mile radius shows 0 all the way around.
That sucks, man. You're in a dead zone.
Well, Arkansas has kept Target out for years and years and years, so I only have the one in my town and then one 45 minutes north.
Okay.
I think there's only like 4 or 5 Targets in Arkansas.
That's crazy.
Because Walmart.
Oh, because Walmart has like a monopoly.
Yeah.
So do you have an easy time finding stuff at Walmart then, like exclusives for Walmart?
I've got 6 Walmarts within 45 minutes in a circle. I can hit all my Walmarts in 45 minutes if I was really hauling, you know?
Yeah.
And Walmart exclusives have never been, there's been some that are hard. In fact, I got what was the Captain America one? The in-game Captain America?
Yeah, yeah.
It was Walmart exclusive. I got that in Dallas on my way through
Oh, nice.
just south of Dallas. But no, I got the Holiday Trooper, the Snow Trooper. My Walmart stocked, 6 of them. I went and grabbed one, came home, and then find out everybody's having a hard time with them.
Yeah. How about the Ahsoka wave? The Ahsoka, the 332nd.
Well, we talked about that. I found my set, and I found a set for Veebs.
Yeah.
And then my Walmart stocked it, and I was like, well, and then I saw you were looking for one, so I went back, and it was gone. Right? I mean, just like that quick.
Yeah.
I wish I had grabbed a set, but I saw that at several Walmarts around here.
Like right after we had talked, I actually went to a Walmart because what was going on there? I dropped someone off at a hospital.
Oh, damn.
No, it was who was getting a procedure. One of my family members was getting a procedure. I don't remember what it was. This is what happens, dude. When you turn freaking 45, you just start remembering. You start forgetting recent shit. I know. I dropped a family member off to get a procedure. I don't even remember who it was or what it was for.
But which Walmart and what did you find there toy-wise?
See, that's what I remember.
Yeah.
So I dropped off X person to get their procedure. I went to the Walmart, which was right behind it, and I found the entire wave. So I picked up the wave.
That's cool. That's cool. Because they still haven't shipped out from Walmart.com. The whole wave anyway, has it?
I don't think so. I think they're going out sporadically, like individual figures.
So when did you turn 45?
I turned 45 in May of last year, May 3rd.
So
know what's funny?
So I'm 3 months older than you.
Oh, you are? So March?
Yeah, March.
Oh, wow. So you're going to be big 4'6". I actually thought, here's how old I am. I actually thought I was 46 for 6 months last year.
And it's on the easiest year. I mean, 75 to 20 is an odd number,
Yeah. It's freaking crazy. Anyway, getting old sucks.
But you get that old, you don't really care anymore either. It's just like, well, it's just another year, whatever.
Yeah. Another year closer to death.
Yep. I only have so long I can be talking about toys on the internet before people look at me like, what is this old guy talking about?
No, you're wise because you have those years. So
I can Gandalf it up.
Yeah, exactly.
The White Wizard.
Let's see here. So we have a couple of we get a super chat already. So let me see who that is.
We're older than everybody. Except for Prophet 924.
Yeah, who's the oldest person in here right now in the chat? Shout out your age. No. Here, if you're older than 45, shout out your age.
No, all the young ones are shouting their age because they don't care. I'm 32.
I'm 15. So Stuart Fulbrook out in the UK said, "Happy New Year to you both. What's been your biggest toy disappointment of 2020?"
Whew.
So that actually relates to a question. There was a question I was going to ask you that I pre-prepared.
Mm-hmm.
And the question is, and I guess we could answer both questions, both Stuart's and the one that I had written. It says, are there any toy lines you were excited for at the beginning of 2020, but never picked up, and why?
That was your question?
That was my question to you.
AEW.
Oh, yeah.
Distribution. That's the first one that comes to mind anyway, because I was excited. Mm-hmm. Well, when did they announce? Oh, it was at Toy Fair. They had the AEW stuff.
They did a big deal for that at Toy Fair. Wrestlers there and everything.
I was taking pictures and Dustin Rhodes reached over me to grab his figure. And he was like, "Oh, are you taking pictures of that?" I was like, "Yeah, boy." No, I didn't do that. I was like, "Yes, sir." Yeah. And I said, "What do you think of your figure?" He was like, "Oh, I love it." He grabbed it anyway, took off. I was like, "Okay, bye." But yeah, I was excited about that line. Never picked it up.
Oh man.
I don't think I ever saw the whole wave in person to pick it up.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Did you pick up any of those?
I got lucky.
Yeah.
I was one of the first people, at least on social media, I was one of the first people to get that wave here in Dallas. I had been checking the UPC on, it was Brickseek, I think, and they popped up, and I'm like, "There's no way they're out." So I ran to that Walmart. They're there. I'm freaking out. So I picked up the whole wave. I got the whole wave. I never got Brandy though. She never showed up.
Stupid ass chase stuff.
I know.
And it looks like they're going to do the same. No. There's going to be a regular Riho, and then a chase one.
Yeah. The only difference on the Riho is I think the pink on the boots. Slight paint variations. That's about it.
Maybe the face.
Yeah.
Expression. But I don't know why make Brandy a chase. And then I remember the guy running the Jazzwares AEW line is the same
Padawer.
as the Jax guy, right?
Yeah, Padawer, he's big into like I know he's big into Pokemon cards, so he loves the idea of chase of things that are like harder to find. So I think that's why he's kind of incorporated that into the line. But
I can understand the allure of that to some collectors. I have something not a lot of people have, you know.
Yeah.
But to me, it's just like I just want to buy a figure. I just want the toy. I don't care about.
Yeah.
So the lines without Brandy, but they've already announced that they're going to change or update the skin tones this year on Wave 1.
Yeah, I mean, we're already getting the bucks in was it Wave 2 or Wave 3 with the more tanned skin tone, but yeah.
Yeah. But I think they're rerunning 1 too because
are they?
people weren't happy.
Yeah. I like them. They don't bother me. They are a little like too light, but the lighting that I use in my Detolfs is a yellow light, so it kind of makes things more dark.
Natural.
Yeah,
gotcha.
yeah. So
Gotcha.
I guess it doesn't bother me for that reason.
And I think they announced that before I found Wave 1 or was able to see more than a couple of figures. Well, or some, I can't remember. But in my brain, I'm thinking, why don't I just buy the better ones later instead of, buying these?
Exactly. So are you going to get into it then? Since you missed it on Wave 1, are you going to kind of try and play catch up if you find them or if you have access to them?
If they do reissue 1.
Okay.
Because they're talking about 2 already. 2's starting to hit right now?
2 has been hitting. Yeah. At some... Yeah. I've seen people finding it in the wild, and then obviously it got shipped out from ringside. So yeah, 2 is out. 3, I'm not sure when that's coming out.
It depends on if I can find 1 and 2 and they look good. And I don't know, wrestling toys for me, it's almost in my brain. I've separated wrestling out to be my thing away from toys. I watch wrestling. I enjoy wrestling. I don't have to, have it in plastic form. But then I see it in plastic form and I think, oh, I do need a Fiend and I need a Matt Hardy and I need my favorite characters.
So have you picked up like individual like figures like the Fiend?
Fiend and Matt Hardy.
Okay.
That's the only wrestlers I've really bought in a bit. And I didn't even open this one
right there. I like that one.
And but I opened the Fiend and then they announced the Ultimate Edition or whatever, the better version. I'm like, God, that's another reason I can't keep track of wrestling figures. They are just so pile it on. Yeah.
And I can understand the fact that if you didn't collect like Elite from the start, like I was around when Elite Series 1 came out. So I was picking them up way back then. I kind of stopped collecting them for a while and then I got back into them. So yeah, I can understand why you wouldn't want to collect wrestling figures if you kind of missed out on a lot of the good ones already.
Yeah. And I don't want all of them, even if I did.
Yeah.
Like Veebs only collects classic stuff. Junkyard Dog, that era.
Like the Legends.
The Legend stuff.
Yeah.
So I see his and it's like, oh, okay, those are cool. Now I've seen them in person. I've messed with them. I don't need them,
Yeah. Okay. So
what line were you excited about?
Power Rangers Lightning Collection. So that was one of my favorite lines last year. And I don't know, I just felt like I was collecting too much stuff. I collect too many lines, so I had to cut something out. And unfortunately, because my connection to Power Rangers is really only with like the first season, because I was older when it first came out.
Already working?
Yeah. Like dating.
See, Power Rangers meant I was late for work. When it came on, it means I need to get ready. Yeah. And then I had to be at work before Power Rangers ended. So that was my alarm clock.
Right.
But I never watched a lot.
I mean, I liked the look of the first season. It's cheesy, but that's what I kind of like about it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. It was a lot of figures. I was like, this is a big commitment. I really want to like collect more Black Series stuff, and G.I. Joe Classified's coming out and AEW's coming out. I had to cut a line, so I cut Power Rangers, unfortunately.
I understand that.
All right, so I just got reminded that there have been some super chats in here. So let me get to those. So Night of Red said, two legends together, love both of your channels. I got Viper and Firefly yesterday, so congratulations there. Both are badass figures. I was at the store at 7 a.m. when the store opened at 8 a.m. So
Damn.
Yeah, that's commitment right there. I was actually talking to a dude at my Target, and he saw that I was holding one, and he goes, "Did you get the last one?" I'm like, "Yeah." And I said, "But here's, there's another one north of here in this town called Allen, and they might have them because they're showing is in stock." And he goes, "Yeah, I drove by there first, and there was people camping out in front of the store."
Jesus.
So I'm like, oh man.
And you, and you know it's for that. You know it's for that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Why the hell would anyone else camp out?
I need cereal and milk. I'm gonna camp out for an hour. Exactly. Get in there first.
Yeah. So that's just crazy, man. But
I remember the days though. I used to hunt hardcore every night, looking for Star Wars stuff, Power of the Force, and.
So you would go at night, like when they were stocking and stuff.
Back in the day, yeah.
Yeah.
And hope you got the right stock person.
Yeah.
Because there was one in my Walmarts, you didn't mess with her. No. Can I? No, get out of my area. Yeah.
Oh man. It's good when you when you start going frequently and the toy person starts recognizing you and like you schmooze with them a little bit.
But at the same time, they kind of know oh, they're only nice to me because I'm putting toys out.
Yeah.
but I'm actually nice to people, so it throws them. That's
exactly.
Yeah, except Target employees when they run away from me.
When they avoid you.
Yeah. Oh shit! An adult in the aisle. Gone.
So Night of Ren, thank you for the super chat. Much appreciated. Haunter Dreams. So are we going 5 to 7 hours? No.
I told my wife I wasn't.
Yeah, man. Because my wife wants to watch Wonder Woman 84. We haven't watched it yet.
Yeah.
We put it off 3 times. So I think we're watching
I've been hearing, but at the same time, usually when I hear a lot of hate it, I usually end up liking it.
Yeah.
If I'm distracted for a couple hours, I'm usually good.
So here's the thing. Here's my theory, and I haven't seen it yet, so I'm just guessing. I have watched the first 20 minutes of the movie, and if the first 20 minutes of the movie are anything like the last 2 hours of the movie, I think I might like it because it kind of reminds me of 80s television shows. So, yeah.
I've heard that too.
Yeah.
I think I've heard too much. You've probably read a lot about the movie already, though, right?
I've only heard that it's just kind of cheesy and the acting is just intention. And I think a lot of people are missing the fact that I think they're trying to be cheesy to kind of get that 80s vibe. Because if you were born in the 90s and you missed out on 80s television, you missed out on that's how it was back then.
Mm-hmm.
So all those Dukes of Hazzard, TJ Hooker, freaking all those shows that Robo and I used to watch, they were freaking cheesy. The dialogue was goofy. It was just. But
still watchable.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I flip across that stuff sometimes and I'm like, oh, I'm going to watch this. Oh, this is terrible. I can't stop watching. I love it.
Exactly. I'm the same way, especially with old cartoons, like
A-Team, Knight Rider.
Oh, I freaking love A-Team.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are the good old days.
It really was. That's why they're still, popping up. When
I know
they had 18 figures, several years ago at Target.
What's that? 18?
18, yeah. Oh,
for the movie, yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about the movie.
Mm-hmm. And I think that van is going for a lot of money now. And I could have gotten it on clearance, and I freaking passed on it. And now it's big bucks. But.
It's always stuff like that you think, oh, Marvel Legends Toad. Nobody bought that thing. Then suddenly it was, oh, everybody needs Toad.
Right.
Chips is 70s.
Oh, Chips.
Oh, sorry, I'm just reading.
Chips was good. Street Hawk. Yeah, shout out your favorite 80s cheesy ass. Leon, what's going on? Mark 44 Prime says Street Hawk. I don't remember Street Hawk. I remember Airwolf and Blue Thunder.
Was Renegade 90s?
Huh?
Was Renegade 90s?
Oh, Renegade. Yeah, that was early 90s. And that was a badass show. Freaking love that show.
That was the time of Xena and Hercules and
Hercules. Yeah. Sunday afternoon. That's when I would watch all that crap.
And then it moved into Jack of All Trades and Cleopatra 2525 and still cheesy shows.
Yeah.
But man, they were good.
They were good. That was good 90s television right there.
Yeah.
People are just sounding off right now in the chat on their favorite 80s shows.
Oh,
I guess
man,
there's a lot of old guys in here.
Well, when they were putting ages a minute ago, yeah, there's some older.
Yeah.
Greatest American Hero. That was early 80s, wasn't it?
That was early. Yeah, like 83, I think. Tom Bowling just said, why did you have to bring up TJ Hooker? Now I've got Heather Locklear on the brain. So at the end of this stream, I'm going to do what's called the lightning round with you. I didn't tell you this. But
okay.
It's called the lightning round, and basically it's 10 questions, and it's like option A or option B, and you have to pick option A or option B. There's no additional explanation needed or required from you.
Uh-oh.
But one of the ones that, since that just came up, this is a bonus question for lightning round. I'm just going to do it right now. Heather Locklear or Heather Thomas?
Oh, man.
That's a tough one.
Probably Locklear.
I got to go Thomas. Fall Guy?
Yeah.
Oh, my Lord. I turned into a man watching that show.
Oh, yeah, we won't get it. Okay, that's a whole different conversation for later.
All right, so let me get to these other... there's one more super chat. Just Plain Steve. How's it going, man? What's your dream match? Any two wrestlers, any promotion, any era in their primes? Holy crap.
Oh, man.
That's a tough one.
Most of them, when I think of that, my YouTube's been popping up with a lot of PWG wrestling lately.
I love PWG.
I guess I never really dug that deep, but I didn't know all these wrestlers had fought each other, and I didn't know Candice LeRae was in a intergender tag team with
Joey Ryan.
Yeah.
So you've never seen PWG?
No.
Oh my God, man.
Just in the past month or so, I've been watching everything I can find.
So do you like comedic wrestling then?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I got to send you some DVDs. They're so freaking good. They're so good.
Man, Kevin Owens on commentary.
Yeah.
It's just, it makes everything better. Everything I see.
So I'm just going to leave you with a thought.
Right.
Imagine Aleister Black. So very serious Aleister Black from WWE NXT sticking his thumb up another man's butt.
Well, they all start. I saw Drew McIntyre in a dance-off with somebody.
They're so freaking entertaining. Good
but
Lord.
Then the wrestling itself is also so over the top.
It's crazy. They're diving over like the ring thing. What do you call that? The turnbuckle.
Yeah.
They're doing some crazy stuff. I love PWG.
The Bucks had a boot that had tacks glued to the bottom of it, and they kicked the crap out of Candice LeRae in the face. It's like, how do you get away with this now?
I think she had a match with Gargano when they were dating at the time. I don't think they were married, and she got all bloody and stuff. It's
crazy.
It's brutal. It's hilarious. There's some
I love it.
Hilarious. Just like Google, like go on YouTube and look for hilarious. Just type hilarious PWG and just watch the clips. They're so great. They're so
I'd never seen the Best Friends or Orange Cassidy before AEW. So I guess this is where now I'm finding out all this NXT talent when they were down. We're fighting all these guys I know now from AEW. It's great
stuff. We're gonna get into, so we have to answer that question.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. It's hard to.
That's such a tough question. I sincerely have to think about that. I'll probably just go with like how about I
know, because in my head I'm AJ and Nakamura, but I've seen awesome stuff from New Japan.
Yeah.
Which breaks my heart now that I see them in WWE and they're just kind of watered down.
Yeah. How about here's mine. I'll just say so we can move on. I'll say Shawn Michaels in his prime versus Kenny Omega. I think that would be a pretty damn good match.
Well, Prescribed Drone just said RVD versus Omega 2. I'm like,
nice.
that's a pretty good one.
I'm looking at the comments here. Rock and Roll Express versus the Hart Foundation. We will get into wrestling. So I actually I have a couple questions for Robo regarding wrestling. Want to kind of talk a little bit about 2020 first, but let's think about that. We'll table that for later. That's a great question, Just Plain Steve, and thank you for the super chat. But going back to we're kind of off the rails here.
We're all over the place.
my original question for you. So everyone talks a lot of crap about 2020, and don't get me wrong, it was a shit year. It was a terrible year. A lot of bad stuff happened. But at the same time, I'm a positive person. I know, Robo, you are a very positive person.
Mm-hmm.
You like to portray that, or that's just you, not portraying anything.
That's
yeah.
Your
personality.
I get accused of that a lot, but yeah, like that's just me talking about toys.
Yeah, I mean, same here. I mean, I like to be positive. Like, why be in the weeds and be negative all the time? It's miserable. So anyway, my question is, there was a lot of good things about 2020 as well. TV shows, movies, comic books, toy lines. What are some of your favorite things that made you happy about 2020?
Oh man, that's hard to dig out. It's easy to say toys because that's what I distracted myself with most of the year.
Yeah.
just shooting toys. But
yeah. So we can start with, I made a list because I obviously I wrote these questions, so I thought about the answer beforehand. I made a list, and we can start with the obvious, The Mandalorian Season 2.
Oh, yeah. See, that would be the high point. Even waiting for it all year, knowing it was coming was a high point. Feeling that Star Wars love again after a lot of hateful years.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, my expectations were high. I thought they were pretty damn high, and I was like, please don't disappoint me. Please don't disappoint me. After the season, my expectations, or the result of what I had just seen, was way up here. Completely outdid my expectations. That is probably my favorite thing of the entire year.
Yeah. That's neat. That's easily the best.
And
the expectations were way up there. And I do have, well, I don't know, for some reason I have one episode that I nitpick.
Which one?
It's the episode where they Grogu on the rock.
The Carl Weathers one?
No. I like that one.
Okay.
It's the Robert Rodriguez one.
Oh, the Boba Fett one.
Yeah. I don't know why. I didn't know Rodriguez had directed it until I saw Finnick dive off backwards off the rock, shooting backwards. I was like, man, they ripped that off from Desperado. What a bunch of hacks.
So the thing that tipped me off, so I'm actually a Robert Rodriguez fan. I like his movies. I like his directing. His style is very, very distinct. And there was something that really, really tipped me off. I'm like, well, that looks familiar. And it was when Boba Fett, I think he smashed one of the stormtroopers with his gaffy stick, and then it cut to a close-up of his face, and he was just like, ugh. He made like a, and I was like, is this freaking Robert Rodriguez directing
this? and then you get to the end of the episode, because I didn't look it up or anything. I was into the episode.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even the directing style or anything. It's, well, one, Boba just walks right onto the Razor Crest and grabs his armor.
Yeah.
After we already been told all the defenses will keep all kinds of intruders out and everything. He just walks in, grabs it, walks out.
Yeah.
And then Boba made him take his jetpack off and lay it down, which, which slows him down running up the mountain to try to save Grogu,
Yeah.
But we've seen all season that he hasn't remote control. He could have just and brought it to him and then taken off. It's just little things like that. For some reason, that episode I nitpick, but I love all the rest.
Like, kind of just some plot holes, just kind of inconsistencies.
Which is Star Wars. I mean, you could do that about anything Star Wars,
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people hate, from the first season, a lot of people hate the prisoner.
Oh, I freaking love that episode.
That's my go-to episode. When I go back and rewatch it,
It
I love that
reminds
episode.
me of an 80s sci-fi thriller, the way that it's directed, especially like when the hallway is all red and he
Uh-huh.
just like is advancing as the lights go on and off. I'm like, holy freaking crap, this reminds me of like Terminator.
Uh-huh. Then he pops up
Yeah.
behind and everything.
Yes. Oh, I love
But
that episode.
but I'm also a sucker for teams that have the knife thrower and the strong guy and the shooter and yeah.
It was like Suicide Squad almost.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
And I loved Bill Burr and I really enjoyed him coming back in this new one.
So let me ask you this. Did you prefer the season 1 Bill Burr episode or season 2 Bill Burr episode?
Season 2, I love that whole episode,
Mm-hmm.
the first one with Bill Burr, but man, he really knocked it out of the park in that. You can just see him, his eyes, whenever the commander or something is talking about, they died for the cause. And he's just like, oh.
That was great.
Yeah, you could just, he didn't have to say anything. Yeah, he acted the hell out of that show.
And that's funny because like I'm a Bill Burr fan. I listen to his podcast. I'm a big fan of his stand-up comedy. And to see him act like that, like a dramatic kind of, there was no humor in him because like early on in the episode, he's kind of throwing one-liners at Cara Dune, and
he's kind of doing his shtick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then at the end, when that freaking commander is just egging him on, and he's just getting more and more pissed, and he had that serious look on his face, I'm like, damn, this dude can act.
Yeah. And it was just a quick turnaround. Yeah, come on, Brown Oz, let's go. We got TPS reports. And I'm like, oh, he's just gonna play, he's just gonna yuck it up the whole time. But as soon as they sat down, completely around. Yeah, I already wanted a figure of him. Now I need a Bill Burr figure in my Star Wars collection. Whoever thought to say that out loud?
I know. I think that was one of my favorite episodes this season, honestly.
Besides the last one. Yeah. Oh wow, the last one is.
I think obviously the first one were the Crate Dragon, Cobb Vanth. I love Timothy Olyphant, so that was a really awesome episode, and just a hell of an episode to start the season with.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Bill Burr episode was great. These are the ones that really stand out, and obviously the finale. So I think those are my 3 favorite episodes. Ahsoka was great too, but I think that those 3 are my 3 favorite from the whole season.
Did you recognize Michael Biehn right off the bat?
I did, yeah, because I was a big. When I was a kid, Aliens came out in '86, and I was about 11, and I used to pretend that I was Hicks. He was Hicks, right? Not Hudson. Hudson was what's his ass? I forgot his name.
Oh man, died a couple years.
Brain fart. Someone in the chat, please shout out. Here's my first brain fart.
Game over, man.
Game over, man. Game over. Man, Bill Paxton.
Yeah.
I got it before I looked at the damn thing. So anyway, I was a big fan of Michael Biehn. Obviously, he was in Terminator. So yeah, I did recognize him. I'm like, that's an old.
It took me a minute, and I was like, oh, Johnny Ringo.
Yeah.
You look like somebody just walked over your grave. I was like, yeah. And then they did kind of a gunfighter sequence at the end.
That was great.
Yeah.
We're gushing about Mandalorian here.
Because as soon as you brought it up, that's my answer. That's my high point of. Then they announced all these shows coming up, and I'm afraid they're gonna get. I don't know.
I'm worried too.
Too many irons in the fire, but they also may be just throwing darts and seeing what sticks, and then going with that. So I'm good with that too.
Yeah, part of Mandalorian is the fact that it's so special. It was like the only show that was out, and I'm worried, man, that there's just too much now. Yeah. I hope they're all good. If they're all good, then we're freaking in for a treat. But I'm just a little worried at this point.
Because they're saying that Book of Boba Fett's supposed to be like a half season of something separate from Mandalorian at the same time, before or after.
Yeah.
Something.
Honestly, I thought that was going to replace Din Djarin's story. I thought Din Djarin's story was over. But from what I hear, his story is going to continue. Obviously, they have the whole Darksaber thing and Mandalore to worry about. Yeah. But yeah, it sounds like his story is going to continue, and Boba Fett's going to get his own story, and everything's going to kind of converge Avengers style. Ahsoka, freaking the Rangers of the New Republic, Boba Fett, Din Djarin, they're all just going to.
That makes. Hey, if it works, it works. It's a tried and true formula.
Yeah.
Slow build.
Replace Thanos with Admiral Thrawn.
Yeah. and then have Ezra show up at some point.
Yeah. Oh, he's got to.
Got to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Thrawn is the big bad.
So we have one more super chat. Felix Angel Solis. Thank you for the super chat. Thanks for being you. Just a quick little animation there. I appreciate the super chat. Very cool. All right. So Mandalorian, our favorite thing of 2020. I had a couple other things like Cobra Kai. I had
I didn't watch it.
Did you like the Karate Kid movies?
Yeah, well, way back, but not recently.
I would recommend watching it from the beginning.
Because it's on Netflix now, right? At first it was on something.
At first it was on, was it called YouTube Red? Or is that like a porn site?
No. I think YouTube had Red was the paid service before TV or whatever it is now.
So I think it was on YouTube Red season 1, and then season 2, they brought season 1 back on Netflix, and season 2. We binged the crap out of it. So I was a big Karate Kid fan. I didn't remember how much I loved Karate Kid until I watched Cobra Kai. So that's a glowing endorsement for that show. I think you will absolutely love it. I think you will binge the crap out of it, and you'll be like, this is the greatest thing. It was one of my favorite things of last year. And actually season 3 just dropped yesterday. So,
really?
Yeah.
See, Letterkenny season 9 hit last week, so I've been watching that.
You're a Letterkenny fan?
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. I love that.
I'm late. I'm way late, but
yeah,
I watched all of it last year, and I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
I watched it. I finished and then went right in and watched it again because there's so much to catch back that you didn't see at first or hear.
Yeah.
They go so fast that
it's so funny. It's such a funny show.
Plus, a lot of those guys I know in real life, it's like, oh, look, it's Scotty. Oh my God, that's insane.
Like the 2 hockey guys, like I've known guys just like them.
Not the hockey guys. I'm the McMurray.
Oh, okay.
I know a whole family of McMurrays, and they act exactly like that.
Yeah, I highly recommend Letterkenny. If anyone has never heard of it, it's a great show. Very funny show. It's very quick wit, quick humor. You almost have to watch it again to get all the dialogue.
Yeah. Have you watched a new season?
I have not, no.
It veers a little bit, but yeah, it's another cliffhanger. It's like, damn it. Really? 7 episodes?
Yeah.
That's all I get.
So that was another good thing. Most of my good things about 2020 had to do with the Mandalorian.
Star Wars toy. Star Wars coming out with so many toys, Marvel Legends. I mean, Hasbro ramping up because at the first of the year, you weren't at Toy Fair.
Not this year, no.
In fact, was it 2018? I saw you at Toy Fair, and I was like,
I think it was 18.
Nobody knows me, even if I said something.
No, dude, I recognized you. I was watching your videos back then. I was like, Robo,
I remember you passing by, but man, Toy Fair can be so.
Yeah.
Especially my first year, I was by myself. I'd never been in New York. It was a crazy time.
I could not imagine going to New York City for the first time by myself. I went with Craig, not another retro channel, who's in here, by the way. He's a mod. But I went with him, and that made it a lot easier. It was like it took away a lot of the nerves, because honestly, I was really nervous to go to New York City.
Yeah. Because Veebs had been there several times before. And we had planned to go, and he had an emergency the week before and said, I'm not going to be able to go. Can you handle it? I'm like, yes.
I guess so.
I guess so. I get off the plane, and I'm like, I can't handle this. I don't know what I'm doing. I've been to San Diego several times, but I'm used to a small town. My hometown's 900 people,
Yeah. And I know how nervous I was. And I grew up in Washington frickin' DC. So I'm from a big city. And I was nervous to go to an even bigger city, New York City. So I can only imagine how kind of like nerve-wracking it was for you.
I didn't know what to do. The taxi let me out, and I'm just like, why are all these buildings stuck together?
Yeah. I thought I was going to die on the taxi ride into frickin' Manhattan. I was like, this guy's driving like a frickin' maniac.
Yeah. Oh, they got me too. I did find the taxis and everything, and there they were in all their yellow goodness. And whoever was at the door, he was like, you looking for a taxi? I'm like, yes. And he took me to a taxi, and it was a black taxi with leather inside and stuff. and it ended up being like 3 times the amount
Oh God! So it was
that
like
a
a
yellow
limousine
cab would have
service.
been. Yeah,
That
I was like, oh,
sucks.
well, they saw me coming.
Yeah.
Are you needing a taxi? Yes, sir, I am. Huh? And jumped right in, paid $150 for a taxi ride.
Oh God! I think I saw that line too. Like, does anyone need a ride? Does anyone need a ride? But then, like, I saw a lot of people waiting in line, so I'm like,
Uh-huh.
I'm just gonna wait behind these people. They know where they're going.
Yeah. And then getting out of New York, I missed my flight because I booked it on the wrong day.
Mm-hmm.
I got a text or an email, and it was like, you have missed your flight. I was still at the show, and I'm like, wait a second. No, that's tomorrow. So I had to go do that at the airport.
Oh, that sucks.
Yes, ma'am. I thought it was yesterday. Or I thought it was tomorrow, but it was today. Can I get a ride, please?
So, how many times
But
have you been to New York City then? Since then?
this is 2020 was my third,
Okay.
but it's gotten I know what I'm doing by then, or at least know where to go.
Mm-hmm.
Where I don't know, because I was just wandering the first year, but
Yeah.
this year I actually went to Rockefeller and saw the sights and stuff, and
So
saw some
surreal.
different things. Yeah,
It's so weird seeing that stuff in person when you're used to seeing it on television. Like when I was at 30 Rock, and I'm like, I'm at freaking 30 Rock. I'm looking at the ice skating rink that I see on SNL.
exactly. Yeah.
So freaking the Today Show films right here. Those
Uh-huh.
are the stairs for the ghost where they filmed the Ghostbusters. That's the library. It's just like there's the Empire State Building.
Yeah. Well, my first year, I did run into somebody at Brian, and he was like, he lives there.
Mm-hmm.
So he helped me out a bit, getting around, finding food places, and being from where I am, it's like, man, this does look just like Law and Order. He was like, well, they film it right there.
Yeah.
So
It's crazy, man.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So I know you've been to San Diego for Comic-Con. Have you ever been to Los Angeles?
No, I've
That's
been
another-
through Los Angeles.
Did you
but
did you see like the Hollywood sign and stuff?
No.
That is a very surreal experience too. Just like New York City, if you ever do that.
I haven't. I spent a couple weeks in LA at
Mhm.
Soda, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was through there when my first year to San Diego, I rode the bus.
Oh,
and
nice.
We went through LA, and then I had to change buses there.
Uh-huh.
But no, I haven't got to sightsee LA.
Yeah, it's crazy. I spent about a month out there for work at one point in the early 2000s. That was fun. Interesting experience.
Someday, well, I don't know now, but hopefully someday, I'd like to go to a con in LA.
Yeah. Okay. So we talked about 2020, some good stuff in 2020. We talked about a toy line that we were excited for that we didn't pick up. AEW for you, Power Rangers for me. Here's a question for you, toy related.
Oh,
if you had to pick a single toy line that you currently collect,
Star Wars.
no.
Okay, go ahead.
And stop collecting it entirely.
Trick question.
Which one would it be, and why would it be the Fortnite figures?
Oh, what? I just bought Fortnite figures. Well, I was actually looking today. I don't think I'd be.
No, I'm kidding about the Fortnite, but which one would it be for you?
I buy a lot of Transformers. Haven't opened them yet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm waiting for that big mega display one day. And it's like, here's all my Transformers. Probably Mezco.
Mezco?
Yeah, because I don't get all of them already. Mm-hmm. I just pick and choose. But if you told me I couldn't buy any more, I'd be like, okay. I'd miss the Popeyes and the weird Hellboy and the Conan, if it would ever release.
Oh man, that Conan looks so good. Yeah. I can't wait for that.
And the weird stuff, but at the same time, I thought you were going to ask which toy line would you, if you could choose one.
I know it's Star Wars. I watched your video, and
yeah.
I
thought that's the direction you were going.
Yeah. So the one that I would drop, I'm actually going to change my answer. I actually typed out WWE Elite, but I think I might change that based on some recent pickups that I had. I recently picked up some Mafex figures. I picked up Cyclops, and I really like them, the Mafex ones. So I think I would probably drop Marvel Legends.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say recent Mafex because, spoiler alert, I sheared the legs off my Mafex Miles.
Oh, did you
Spider-Man.
really?
Yeah, I thought they were moving. They were twisting. They weren't articulating.
No.
So I'm waiting to hear back from Ami Ami. I thought you were going to say you recently bought some Mafex and they weren't.
And I didn't like them. Oh
yeah,
no.
yeah.
Opposite. I love them. I look at it and I don't know what it is, but I look at this Cyclops. I'm like, that is, and a lot of people are going to disagree with me because they love Marvel Legends, but I just look at that and I'm like, this is so superior to the Marvel Legends one. I just love Mafex, what they're putting out. I'm going to get the whole X-Men line, the Gambit I'm excited for, Brown Suit Wolverine. I got the Hush Batman. I know that was one of your favorites of last year.
I still got that right here.
I got him right over here too. He's in a little flight pose. See if I can get him out of here before.
Are you getting the black suit version?
I'm going to get they're making a black suit one, aren't they?
Yeah, it's coming out right now.
Is it really?
I've seen pictures out of overseas of the released product.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I'm excited for. So I ordered the Dark Knight Returns one, the black one, and that is actually due to arrive here shortly. But the one that I'm really excited for now, I told you before we went live here, my favorite figure that I was looking forward to in 2021 was Zartan from G.I. Joe Classified.
Right. Yeah.
My second favorite is the triumphant Batman from Dark Knight Returns, the blue one with the scratches on the bat symbol. Holy moly, that thing looks amazing.
And if it's as good as the black one, it's amazing.
Yeah.
The black one's the least I say problematic. There's always something, it seems like, with Mafex. But he had nothing.
Really?
He is just head to toe pretty damn perfect.
It looks amazing. And I remember reading that comic when I was younger and I was like, should I be reading this? This is a little mature for me at 11 years old.
Right.
But it brings back a lot of memories and the figure, it looks like it's ripped right out of the comic book. So
proportions, everything. It just moves so nice.
Yeah. So
it's a little thick, especially after messing with Hush. But yeah, I'm just afraid because I would probably do that too. Drop Marvel Legends if I had faith that Metacom would finish like that X-Men team or
Spider-Man villains.
Because oh man, imagine Doc Ock or because Venom and Carnage are great.
It's a tough call. Yeah, I was going to say WWE Elite because I just have so many of them already. And I don't know, I could probably just stop collecting them and be happy with what I have. But I got to say, I could drop Marvel Legends if Mafex keeps cranking out these awesome figures. Yeah,
but at the same time, Marvel Legends has pumped out a lot of figures too, where you could say, oh, I have my Jim Lee team. But Jim Lee's probably further down my list, which is a shame for the Mafex figures. But that Cyclops is the size and proportions that I think of when I see Cyclops.
Yeah.
I feel like all the Marvel Legends Cyclopses have been are too short and
I
too
agree.
thin.
Yeah. But yeah, I love this Mafex one. We've gotten a couple more super chats, so let me just run over those. Andrew Burton dropped a $5. Thank you very much. Didn't include anything there, but thank you, Andrew. I appreciate that. Hot Cheeto Fingers. That's an awesome handle, by the way. Said, can you please shout out my daughter Azalea? Shout out to Azalea. How you doing?
Azalea.
If you're watching, how's it going, Azalea? Billy Moon, $5.
Hey,
Robo,
Billy.
how much fun are the Plunderlings figures?
I haven't had a chance to open them yet, but they are awesome. Nick's been talking about them nonstop for the past few days. His pictures, him messing with them. It's just, and I talked about it at the end of the weekly of getting mine in. And then I was like, that's disgusting. They pay you to talk about those. I'm like, seriously? After you watch this whole video of me talking about toys, that's the one that disgusts you. But
it looks like a very, very fun figure. Like I was just joking earlier when I said Fortnite figures, but Fortnite figures just look so freaking fun. They bring like so much fun back to collecting.
Yeah, there's a stiffness. Okay, there's a very early toy business to them, feel-wise. Sorry, my Google thought I was talking to it, but I don't know why I didn't say Google. but they're fun. In fact, I picked up some last week.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of those I haven't opened up yet, just because waiting for that intro or something.
Yeah.
Where I can use them or display them, or yeah, they're just fun figures. I don't like the articulated fingers.
Has collecting the Fortnite figures made you want to start playing the game at all?
Nope. I tried it with a buddy. Was it when was it? It was at some point. We played one round.
Mm-hmm.
My son got me the Deadpool skin so I could use it the next time.
Yeah.
We played one round and essentially hovered around in a helicopter until most of everyone else killed each other. And then as soon as we landed, I got killed.
By the one guy on the team.
And I think he killed somebody, and then somebody killed him, and we were like second or something.
Yeah.
But that was my Fortnite career.
And you're just like, I'm good.
yeah, I've played it. I prefer the toys. Thank you. Because they don't have any kind of personalities. There's not a story. You just run around killing each other.
Yeah. But they make great figures.
They do. And they're consistent.
So we got a super chat from LPG Vintage Toys, and I got to echo what they're saying right now. They said, big fan of both of you. The Fwoosh Saturday show is like Saturday morning cartoons back in the day. And I 100% agree.
I get that comment a bit, but there's, oh man, so much love for Saturday morning cartoons that I feel like irreplaceable.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing will ever take that place. But I do have a lot of fun planning the weekly and then shooting the weekly and then editing the weekly, going back and taking out stuff because I get too excited in front of the camera. I'm like, why did I say that? Cut that out because it's something wrong.
Yeah.
I was so excited about Pac-Man yesterday that I just spit out the wrong price, and I can't post that. People will be like, oh, that's not how much it is. What are you, dumb? Yes. I just get excited about toys.
Can I just say how much I really, really enjoyed how you showed the crew that puts the show together? I love that, dude. All different reactions and stuff. That was great.
That was a spur of the moment. I didn't have anything for an intro.
Yeah.
And I'd recorded that at midnight, Thursday night, because Christmas morning.
Yeah.
And I finished recording. It was about 1 a.m. And I was like, man, I don't have an intro. I need something. That's how my brain works at 1 a.m. It's just like, oh,
it was great, man.
Let's do this. And I didn't know if it was going to work because as I was shooting, I thought, I have bare walls. This room's not finished.
Mm-hmm.
It's essentially this on an unfinished room. So it's just sheetrock and it looks terrible. Nothing's framed out. I've lined the walls with figures that I haven't opened yet. So I was very meticulous not to show like drywall screws and and raw wall and stuff, but it turned out okay. I actually ended that. Or I originally planned to have me yelling at the crew at the end of it. And then next Christmas, I would record the Ghost of Christmas Past episode to show Robo the error of his ways, to treat the crew better and stuff. But that would have lasted like 4 or 5 years. Nobody's got time for that.
Yeah. No, I liked it a lot. That was awesome, man.
It was fun.
Billy Moon said those plunderlings look like legit childlike fun. Bill Maru shower off his off, and I think I'm reading this incorrectly. And I immediately ordered some. Oh, showed his off, and I immediately ordered some from Big Bad Toy Store. So
I messed with these without paint.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a couple of test shots that he sent me, as a payoff to talk about his toys.
A payoff.
But now seeing them with the paint and stuff, it's so smooth. It's so. I mean, I did help because I just started talking about them because I liked them. They were cute,
Mm-hmm.
And then he ended up naming one of them Fwoosh.
That's awesome.
After the site, so that was awesome. But yeah, these are fun.
That's cool, man.
Look at that. So much personality.
Yeah. He looks like he could be in Star Wars, like a Star Wars alien.
Yeah, come running across in the background
Mm-hmm.
in a bar or something. Yeah, in a bar. I always think of Cantina when I think Star Wars. That's my first location.
Yeah.
No.
Let's see here. Okay, so let's move on a little bit. Um, what's a toy line you currently don't collect? I probably already know the answer to this, how you're going to answer it. A toy line you don't collect, but could start collecting in 2021. And why is it Hot Toys?
Oh, man.
Just kidding. What?
Oh, man. Hot Toys is so tempting. And you know which ones I have.
Yeah.
The very, very few. Because I'm afraid of going down that rabbit hole.
Mm-hmm. Slippery slope.
Especially Star Wars wise. I've always thought I need one Star Wars one. Well, yeah, I asked you about the Mandalorian.
Mm-hmm.
Which one's better? And man, it's always been, if I get a Luke, I need a Leia, or a Han, I need a Chewie, or I need somebody to fight, a good guy, bad guy. That's why when I go to San Diego, I just look at them. Oh.
Yeah, I think that new Mandalorian, the Beskar Steel Mandalorian, the deluxe one, is honestly one that you could just buy one and be content with your display because it comes with Grogu and the hover pram. So it's not like you buy a figure and then you need another one to kind of display it with. That's two figures that display well together. So I think if you are going to get one, and obviously you want to kind of reflect upon how much you love the Mandalorian, I think that's a great one to get.
That would be well, I have a boxed up Sideshow Darth Maul. That's not hot. It's the same scale, but it's not Hot Toys. But I've never opened it up. I want something. I mean, Darth Maul's cool.
Yeah.
And he'll eventually open up, but I don't know. I feel like if I got that Mandalorian, though, do I need the IG-11? Have they done a Cara Dune yet?
They have not done a Cara Dune. IG-11 is about to release here, I think, within the next month. The Heavy Mandalorian from that one episode, the Jon Favreau voiced one.
Yeah.
They released in Hong Kong. We got the Remnant Trooper. We got the Incinerator Trooper. We have a Death Trooper. But that's the extent of like the Mandalorian figures so far by Hot Toys.
You think they're going to do I forgot. What's the heavy troopers from the last episode? The
Dark Troopers.
Dark Troopers, yeah.
Oh, I hope so. Those would be amazing.
Would be awesome.
Especially if they made them die cast. Oh, those would be expensive too. Because they'd be big.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
See, oh man, that rabbit hole.
Yeah. So another one here. Sharia Vandenberg says, can you guys shout out my husband? Is it Ellie? He's a huge fan of you both and has been really excited for this live.
Nice.
Ellie, how's it going? Hopefully I'm pronouncing it correctly, but how's it going? Thanks for watching. Thanks for joining.
I'll say Eli just to cover all the bases.
There you go.
How's it going?
Ellie/Eli. Thank you for watching. All right, so let's move on to some.
Well, what line do you not buy that?
Oh,
yeah.
So this is kind of funny because the one that I did not collect in 2020, Power Rangers Lightning Collection, is also the one that if I could potentially get back into a line, that's the one because of the pumpkin wrapper and King Sphinx.
Dang. Do you want to throw some paint at King Sphinx just to spruce it up a bit? Because I look at it and I see like raw plastic.
Yeah, it does look a little unpainted, but yeah. I saw that pumpkin wrapper in the store and I swear, I picked it up, walked to the register. I'm like, what am I doing? Walked it back, started walking to my car. I'm like, no, it's too cool of a figure. I could just get one. I don't have to buy the whole. I don't have to be a completist. And I went back, picked it up, started walking to the register. I'm like, no, what am I doing? This is what goes through my head when it comes to action figures. I'm so freaking indecisive.
Uh-huh.
Are you like that too, or am I just a weirdo?
Not so much the indecisiveness. I have to, and this drove my wife nuts a lot. Was I'll go to the toy aisle and look, and not see anything, and I'm looking, and we go shopping, and we go looking at the rest of the store. I have to go back to the toy aisle just in case I miss something, or something's behind something, or something's hidden, but I don't do a lot. Once I pick it up, That's it.
Once you got hands on
Wait. Once I pick it up and leave
Put
the
it in the
aisle.
cart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I may pick it up in the aisle and put it back down, and then nope, I do need it. I did that with actually this today. Just because.
On clearance.
Yeah. I didn't know it
Nice.
was on clearance till I got to the register.
Mhm.
I just wanted his legs and his head for something else.
What are you making?
I'm gonna replace the Bespin Luke.
Mm.
His head and his. I've seen people replace the legs just to give them a thinner look, better articulation.
Do you not like the archive collection head sculpt for Bespin Luke?
There's something about it. I just don't. Of course, we know Mark Hamill's a hard guy to get in plastic, but I think I like this head better than that one.
I'm looking at them both now.
The hair may not be appropriate for.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
The hair on the archive collection Bespin Luke doesn't look very sculpted, at least from this distance that I'm looking at right now. But the one on the Dagobah one that you have, it looks more sculpted and the right color.
Yeah. And a little bit more better scale with other figures. For the Bespin, for the archive, did they replace the whole head or did they just photo reel the old sculpt?
It's a new head. As far as I can tell, it's a new head. Because that old sculpt, he kind of had like a horse face.
Yeah. And man, that paint job, that turned a lot of people off Black Series for a long time. The old circles with a black dot in it.
Yeah, I'm so happy that they went with the digital face print.
Oh, yeah.
Hey,
100% better.
My daughter's visiting. So we got one from Billy Moon. My problem with Hasbro owning Power Rangers is lack of Megazords, true Megazords, not the crap that has been given to us. So those would be large scale Megazords, I would say, if they did them like true to scale. I mean, they couldn't. That'd be like a 6 foot tall figure.
Well, I think, thinking of it like that, you got to think HasLab at some point may go for
some Robux. Okay, I'll hit you up after we're done here.
Oh, when are you gonna be done? It's gonna take forever.
No, just about an hour, sweetie pie.
No, it is gonna take forever.
An hour is forever in Kid Tom.
An hour is forever. Bye, sweetie pie. I love you.
Can I switch this thing?
Sure. Okay.
I miss thinking an hour was a long time.
She's upset because her sister had a sleepover last night, had friends over, and got invited to a sleepover tonight, and she feels left out. So,
gotcha.
Some dad stuff here.
I cherish it while you can.
Yeah.
Mine's out roaming town somewhere.
Yeah, you have like a 25-year-old, right?
Yeah, she's married and living elsewhere. My 20-year-old is out roaming town right now. My 15's back in his room.
What's it like having a 20-year-old and 25-year-old and 15-year-old?
it's like you wait so long for them to be adult and do their own thing, and then you miss them while they're off doing their own thing. You know, it's almost like, oh, I wished for this, and then it's a curse. You curse yourself.
Yeah.
Until you get that bill for the car insurance. And it's like, you need a job.
I could see that because they grow up so fast. Like my 10-year-old's already acting like she's a teenager. And it felt like yesterday I was like changing her diapers. So it's crazy how fast they grow up.
My youngest, it hit fast. He was, a kid. And then just last year, actually, he grew 2 feet and a lot of attitude.
Yeah. Okay. So do we want to get into some wrestling talk real quick?
Yeah. You're not going to make me tear up, are you?
I'm going to start with something that might make you tear up. So obviously we know that Brody Lee recently passed away. And I don't know if you've watched it, but the AEW most recent episode, they did probably the best tribute I've ever seen to a wrestler that's passed away ever.
They did an amazing job of, while still building storyline stuff.
Exactly.
It's crazy how well they did that.
And every match was dedicated to him, and every match had kind of like an homage to him or a dedication to him, or they did the moves that he used to do, and it was so great.
It took me a minute it took me a minute to realize Murder Hawk was actually in Luke Harper gear.
Yeah,
was
that
like-
was awesome.
At first, I thought he's not even geared up. What is? Oh,
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah. I laughed. I teared up. I laughed when Eric Rowan came out and Jericho goes, "That's Eric Rowan," and then Ross goes, "Eric Redbeard, Eric Rowan, Redbeard."
it's like they were arguing about which name, because Rowan is technically would be the WWE trademark, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Jericho, I don't know if he did it intentionally, if he just didn't care, or if he just completely slipped his mind. But
I don't think Jericho cares at this point.
I don't think he does either. So my question to you, do you have a favorite Brody Lee or Luke Harper moment or match?
There was a lot. Because again, I'm only now digging way back to PWG and what was it was Brody and Moxley was in.
Was it CZW?
Maybe, yeah. And then the Luke Harper stuff. I missed a lot of the Bray era where he was with
the
Luke
Wyatt
Harper.
family.
But man, the thing that I now think of whenever I think of Brody Lee is him slapping people with paper.
I know.
It's great. It's already embedded in there as, the Brody Lee thing to do.
So obviously you watch Being the Elite.
Oh, yeah.
That was my favorite thing, is because when he was in the WWE and he was with the Wyatt family, he was an imposing figure, but they didn't let him talk. He was kind of like a henchman at best. But when he went to AEW, he got to show his true personality. Mostly when he was on screen, on camera, it was like a kind of a parody of Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
But when he was on Being the Elite, you really got to see his humorous side. And he would make like John Silver and Alex Reynolds always laugh, even Uno. And with throwing the papers, that was like one of my favorite things. That's like my favorite moment of Brody Lee, is the Being the Elite stuff.
Yeah. That first time he hit Evil Uno with it and Uno did that scream, that was it. It was over.
Yeah.
That was the thing to do. And that's what put over, I mean, the Dynamite didn't do a lot for the Dark Order, but man, BTE, that's the thing to watch on Mondays.
Yeah.
And John
Dark
Silver
Order's like the hottest thing in AEW right now, I think.
Yeah. But you wouldn't know it if you just watched Dynamite.
Right.
Until this episode, and then you find out, man, AEW is just chock full of a silly amount of fantastic wrestlers. I mean, Stu Grayson and the Beaver Boys, they're fantastic. They're hardcore wrestlers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
and it's going to change now. Anna Jay, I didn't know she was just 22, and Brody Lee brought her in specifically for, Dark Order.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what sucks the most, I think, is because we were just seeing him
just
break out.
Started. Yeah.
Yeah.
He brought Anna Jay in. I think he brought in Preston Vance 10 as well.
10.
Yeah. So
yeah, that faction.
I love the Dark Order. They're so funny. I mean, they are Being the Elite right now.
And it's almost like the Bucks are just like, take it.
Yeah.
If it's working, it's working.
Right.
That's less we got to do. So
exactly. The other thing that I really enjoyed is when he went over on Cody Rhodes and squashed and won the TNT championship.
Yeah. Which you didn't think it was going to do. Well,
you didn't think...
right off the bat, you thought AEW, you were afraid AEW was going to be, okay, it's founded by these wrestlers.
They're going to hold on to the belts forever.
Yeah. But no, they put other people over left and right.
And so we already had the personality with Brody Lee in AEW, but then it showed like how strong of a wrestler he was when he completely squashed Cody and won that belt. So that was like my other big favorite moment of Brody Lee.
Yeah, that was big. That TNT belt, well, that's retired now, huh?
Yeah, little Brody has it.
Crazy, man. Already has a contract.
Yeah.
It makes me want to work for AEW. I mean, because you always hear horror stories about WWE, always.
Yeah.
And then turn around and in order to take care of his family, already signing kid, and it's crazy.
Management-wise, it's like the complete opposite of WWE.
Mm-hmm. At least what you hear of WWE.
Right.
Because I saw a lot of flack on WWE for their tribute that they did Monday. But then I realized that, that's former employee
Mm-hmm.
or employer. It would have almost, if they had done anything more on Monday, it would have been like them trying to outdo
Yeah.
AEW before AEW could do anything.
Right.
So in that, I don't know. I looked at it that way and I thought, well, okay, that's cool. Because apparently they filmed a lot of stuff.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. So I don't know. It was still cool to hear because they don't do that a lot for former wrestlers.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's definitely I think the first time this has ever happened where like someone that was with the WWE went to their big rival passed away. Because like I think back to like Eddie, he passed away when he was still with the WWE. Pretty much like a lot of the wrestlers that passed away in their prime were still with the company when they did like the big tribute episode. So
yeah, and man, Eddie was hard too.
That really surprised me. Okay, so the other question that I had for you that was wrestling related. Going back to 2020, there's been a lot of matches, a lot of great matches. Do you have a favorite match, one that sticks in your mind? Match or matches of the year? I actually wrote down 6 matches.
Oh, really?
That I really, really liked. I remember them. That's the way I kind of base like if I have a favorite match or not, if I remember it, if it really resonates and just sticks in my mind, if I can remember certain spots. So I have a handful of them here.
I don't think it was this year. The first one that popped in my head was Adam Cole and Ricochet, but I think Ricochet's been on the main roster all this year, hasn't he?
He has, yeah.
Okay, so that had to have been last year. Ricochet did a backflip and Adam Cole super kicked him right in the neck.
Oh yeah.
What match was that? It was NXT.
Yeah.
But man, yeah, this year I remember not liking a lot when it first went to no audience, nobody because it was just weird.
It was very quiet, yeah.
And then what was it came back? AEW changed their camera angle, put the outside.
They changed their camera angle and they started having wrestlers sit ringside.
Yeah, which made some noise and it worked really well. There was Best Friends versus Santana and Ortiz, the street fight.
Parking lot. Yeah.
The parking lot. Yeah.
That was one of my favorites.
That's up there.
Yeah.
Just because it had been a while since we saw something brutal. It was just WWE for a long time. That's why I love AEW, just bringing so much early wrestling in.
Yeah.
Like wrestling alike, especially that whole WCW. I don't know. I'm waiting for them to implode just because of how well they're doing.
Right. So I have one of my favorite matches. I think this might be my favorite match actually. And I was like, did that happen this year? So that's how long this year's been. Is I completely forgot that this actually happened this year. But the Stadium Stampede match in AEW, Inner Circle versus the Elite and Matt Hardy, was amazing. Yeah.
Just and all while furthering storylines again. Hangman going to the bar. That's perfect.
Yeah.
So perfect.
The pool of reincarnation with Matt Hardy. I think that was the first time where we saw him actually start changing his personalities to different characters of himself.
He'd been hinting at it.
Yeah.
But then, for him to completely flip in the middle of a match.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah. And I hadn't seen a lot of Guevara before then.
Oh, yeah, Sammy, yeah.
Yeah. Because before that, I just remember him being in the Panda Bear, hat. Early AEW. Yeah, that top to bottom. Jericho yelling at the ref.
Going into the booth review.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And them coming out. He's like, "You're a terrible ref."
That was such a well-planned match and well directed, I guess. To have so many different things going on around the stadium.
There was always something, and it was, recorded. A lot of it was recorded.
Oh, yeah.
But just the way it was all laid out. Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah. I think that was my favorite match of last year. I mean, there was other great matches. Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso, a lot of drama in that one. I wrote down Hangman Page and Kenny versus the Bucks at AEW Revolution was a great match.
Yeah.
And then over in NXT UK, Walter versus Ilya Dragunov was one of the most brutal matches I've seen in a long time.
See, I haven't watched I haven't watched any NXT UK.
Okay.
So I've missed a lot of that. You hear about it.
Yeah.
And then I've backed off NXT a lot too, even though I hate to. It's on at the same time.
Yeah.
And I can record it. I know there's modern ways, but once I'm done with wrestling on Wednesday, I'm done. Because is NXT still better than Raw and SmackDown for the most part? Or is it balancing out?
Personally, I think NXT is getting slightly stale. I mean, it's okay, but AEW, I watch live. I record NXT and then I get to it when I get to it. So it's like, it's not a priority of mine anymore, but AEW, always a priority to watch it live because I don't know what's going to happen. Anything can happen. Anyone can debut.
Sting coming out, which you were expecting. I mean, this is the resurrection of WCW, but just to see him is still, because he was my guy way back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Crow Sting when he came back.
Mm-hmm.
NWO going down.
That was a good time. Good time in wrestling. Attitude
they stretched it out too. They overstayed their welcome though.
Oh yeah.
With NWO.
Yeah, what the problem was is there was too many damn people in NWO. In the black and white and red and black. It was just like
the Wolf Pack.
Yeah, it was just too much.
And half the time you're looking, you're like, who are these guys? Hogan's nephew or something? And being NWO was a cool thing to do.
Melissa J says, "Hi guys, my hubby is a big fan of you both. Can you say hi, Collect with Chris or Chris J? Thanks." So I'll do both. Hi, Collect with Chris and Chris J. How's it going?
Hey, Chris J. What's happening?
But thank you for the super chat there. Those are the only two questions I had wrestling related. Did you have anything else that you wanted to talk like wrestling wise?
I don't know why I just thought of this. Somebody said Wardlow. Was it Wardlow that jumped in the ring the other night?
Yes.
And you always thought, man, he's so much bigger than all the other wrestlers. And then Rowan came out.
Oh, yeah. And
how big is Rowan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rowan's huge. He's got to be 6'6" or 6'7" or something.
That and how, I mean, people have been asking for it for years. And I was afraid if it ever happened that they'd screw it up. But man, the whole Roman heel turn is almost better than the Fiend stuff for me lately.
Oh, yeah. I agree. Yeah. And the way he abuses Jay.
Oh, man. He played it because you didn't think you had it in him after all these years.
Yeah.
Because he'd cut a promo as, in the Shield or something. It was like, shut up. God, now I know him by Moxley. What was his name?
Ambrose.
Yeah. Just let Ambrose or Seth talk.
Right.
just leave it to them. But man, when he's being hardcore heel.
Yeah.
He could make you feel it.
He's a really, really good heel. The way he says things just very, very calmly.
Mm-hmm.
It almost
makes
scary
him,
yeah, it makes him kind of scary.
And even Heyman's off to the side, just kind of.
Yeah, I love Heyman's reactions. Just like is he really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was complete opposite. He had to do all the talking for Brock.
Right. So.
Yeah, that's awesome.
All right, so yeah, that's all I had, like wrestling wise. Let's take a look at the chat here and see what people are saying. Big Dub's here. How's it going, Big Dub? Kiwi Collector, Toy Chase. Road Warriors were awesome too. Goldberg was my favorite back in the day. Mr. Fuji and Professor Tanaka were my favorite tag team. A lot of old school wrestling fans in here. Billy Kidman was a favorite wrestler of mine. I liked when Billy Kidman, was it Kidman and Paul London were a tag team? Wait.
Was that before Raven's Flock or after?
That was after. Kidman, yeah, Kidman was definitely in Raven's Flock. That was WCW. But like in WWE, I think it had just turned into E from F. London and Kidman were a kind of a thrown together cruiserweight tag team, and they won the tag belts. It was kind of a big deal. Yeah.
I dropped out after the buyout for a long time. Pretty much the whole Cena era.
Oh, wow.
That 10 or 15 years. I didn't come back until 15, 16, somewhere in there.
Okay. Ruthless
17.
Aggression is one of my favorite eras of all time. When Cena debuted, Orton debuted, Batista debuted, Eddie Guerrero was in his prime. It was a great, great time for WWE. I liked it a lot.
I go back and watch a lot, and I think, oh well, that looked good, and
Mhm.
that. But for some reason, I just wasn't into it. I may have been salty about, even though I was into before they bought out. I was into what was the era before that?
Attitude Era.
Attitude.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, DX and Stone Cold and
Yeah.
Rock. But as soon as they bought out and everything went together, you could almost feel it. Just like, oh well, they don't have any competition now.
Right. And they could just like rest on their
Mhm.
laurels and not produce the best. But
Yeah.
yeah, Ruthless Aggression was cool. I think the reason I liked it the most is because they pushed young guys. And you really didn't see that in Attitude Era. But like they pushed Cena, Batista. I'm looking at my
Your cheat
Orton.
sheet.
Yeah. They pushed those guys to the stars. I mean, those guys were the champions. So that's why I kind of like the Ruthless Aggression era so much. But
Well,
I kinda
Attitude
like what
was
they're-
kind of, Attitude was. I mean, Rock was fairly new,
that's true. Yeah.
comparatively speaking, and Stone Cold was his new gimmick at what, King of the Ring '96,
Yeah.
somewhere in there.
Kane debuted. Undertaker was popular back then.
Mm-hmm. God, why can't I remember? Angle.
Oh yeah, Kurt
His
Angle
big
debuted.
rise.
Still my favorite match of all time, 2001 King of the Ring, Kurt Angle versus Shane McMahon. And I think it was a street fight match, and it was one of the most brutal. I think it's still the most brutal match I've ever seen.
Was that his first coast to coast?
That was when Kurt Angle was belly to belly suplexing Shane McMahon through plate glass windows, and he
kept
like
doing
landed on his head a couple times
Yeah.
on the concrete. It was rough. Yeah.
And now Shane says that he told him to keep doing it until, was that where they broke the
glass?
Yeah.
That was nasty.
Yeah. And it's always the unexpected stuff like that that's just like earlier this year, what was it? Guevara put Hardy into the concrete, missed the table, and
hit his head.
That was after hitting him with that chair.
Yeah. He threw the chair at him and it kind of went sideways.
So bad.
So Louis Lombardi with Super Chat. Did you guys see the documentary, The Resurrection of Jake the Snake? Thanks to both of you for all your content. Target sucks.
Target sucks. Yeah, dang it.
I did not see that documentary. Was it good?
Is that him going through the what's Diamond Dallas's page? DDP yoga?
Oh,
Or him getting him rehabilitated back up and walking?
I don't know. Did you see that?
No. I'm just, was it earlier this year? I think they had some kind of him being quarantined in DDP's house or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh. I might have to check that out. I like Jake the Snake. I like how he's managing Murder Hawk right now.
Yeah. They're putting the talkers on the microphone,
Yeah.
Let them do the talking.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're kind of working up to a new Four Horsemen, aren't they?
That's what I thought they were going to do with FTR,
and
Tully and Arn. And I thought they were going to bring Cody Rhodes in because he's managed by Arn. And I thought they were going to bring
FTR would be the perfect new Arn and Ole tag team.
Yeah. I honestly thought that that's the way they were going to go, but maybe they're just going to roll with FTR as a tag team for a while. But I'd love to see a new Four Horsemen put together.
Yeah. Because that's not a WCW owned thing, is it? I mean,
I don't think so.
Maybe
I don't know if they'd be able to use that name, the Four Horsemen. They could call it, because Impact did something where they had like a Four Horsemen, but what did they call it? Fortune. Was their 4-man team. I know it was Angle, AJ Styles, Bobby Roode, and I can't remember the fourth. But
was it the other beer money guy?
It might have been James Storm. Yeah.
James Storm. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, but then again, that was a WCW thing that they never did. They ever bring that to WWE?
Four Horsemen?
Yeah, they did Four Horsewomen.
Yeah, with Shayna Baszler and.
That was going to be one of them, wasn't it? But wasn't it Flair?
Oh yeah, it was Charlotte and Sasha and Bailey,
Becky,
and Becky. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they were going to do, because the four MMA fighters, it was Shayna Baszler, Ronda Rousey. I can't remember the other two.
The girl in the mask or the protective gear.
Yeah. That's married to Roderick Strong. They were called the Four Horsewomen, I think, in UFC or MMA.
Right.
So I thought they were going to do like a little Four Horsewomen versus Four Horsewomen thing. Never turned out.
That was too easy. That was too good for WWE to do.
Right. Silverhawks for Life says Glacier versus Mortis in WCW was better than the actual Mortal Kombat movie. I like that Mortal Kombat movie.
The original one?
Yeah. Did you like that movie?
Yeah. Man, that soundtrack too. That was all over the place back then.
That's what I'm talking about. Is that soundtrack. That was the thing I think that I like the most.
Yeah.
Hard techno music when they're in the freaking forest and get over here. Scorpions out there. I think it was Johnny Cage who was fighting. Huh?
Yeah.
What'd you say?
It made you want to fight.
It did. That freaking music. That was my workout music for a long time.
Yeah. It'd pump you up.
I want to re-download that album right now.
I don't think I've seen that movie since then, though.
It probably did not age well.
I'm almost, and stuff like that, I'm almost afraid to go back and watch it, you know?
Like or you might have another appreciation for it if you watch it again.
That's true, too. And most of the time, if I liked it then, I'll like it now, but Ooh, Dudley Boys.
Dudley Boys are the greatest team ever. I loved the Dudley Boys. It was the best game movie from the time, Emilio Lopez says. It was definitely 1,000% better than that freaking Street Fighter movie with Van Damme. That thing was terrible.
I never seen that, but I heard Raul Julia killed it in that role.
He did what?
He just acted the hell out of it, didn't he? That's what I've been told.
It's one of those movies that was so bad that I like forgot it. Like my brain's trying to block it out from memory.
You blanked it out.
Yeah. Toy Chase says you guys need to do Robo, Cincy, and Wade weekly. That'd be fun.
Yeah. Wade healing it up.
It's almost like a handicap match with Wade as a heel and then us as the face.
He'd have to bring somebody in.
Yeah, another heel.
Surprise guest.
Dan who?
Dan who? Yeah, but they have beef too.
Oh, that's true.
Who does Wade not have beef with?
Who's another good heel?
I don't know.
I'm sure Koji King says, so do we call this Robo Nerd? That's kind of
I thought you were going somewhere else with that. I didn't read it. I was just listening to you, and I thought it was, I don't know. I didn't know where you were going with that. Robo Nerd.
Craigerson, not another retro channel, said that was Raul Julia's last movie.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah, because he did Addams Family, and then he did, or did Addams Family come out after that? I don't remember at this point. But it was one of his last movies.
There was 2 Addams Families, wasn't there? Yeah. I love those movies. And I like those movies. You remember the Scooby-Doo movies, the live action ones?
Oh yeah, Freddie Prinze Jr. and
Sarah Michelle Gellar. Yeah. I've been looking for those on a streaming service, and that's nowhere for free. I guess I'm gonna have to buy them at some point.
Yeah, those are pretty good. I like those. Yeah. Actually, I was standing behind Sarah Michelle Gellar when I was in Los Angeles at a Starbucks.
Really?
Yeah. I was like, that's freaking Sarah Michelle Gellar. I was at a red light in my rental car, and Johnny Knoxville pulled up next to me. Yeah, I saw a lot of celebrities while I was there. It was kind of COVID. It was kind of strange.
When I was in LA, I saw the oldest son of Independence Day, who was the pilot guy that rode the plane into the
Randy Quaid.
His oldest son in that movie was in a convenience store when I was buying cigarettes.
Who played his son?
I don't know. I just recognized his face. I was like, oh, you were in Independence Day. But I didn't say anything.
Yeah.
And then celebrity-wise, San Diego, you're always running into somebody.
Who's the most famous person you ever saw in person at San Diego Comic-Con?
Seth Green tried his dangest to ruin several San Diego Comic-Cons.
Really?
And I never talked to him. He was always doing something that was just kind of. He was making out with some girl in front of the Toy Biz case at one of the. It was just like, hey, I'm trying to look at toys here.
Seth Green.
And that's when Toy Biz just had like a glass case. That was it on the side of the aisle.
Yeah.
No booth, no nothing. I was at a rooftop party one time. Pee Wee Herman sat down.
Wow.
He came out of the bathroom with David Arquette, and Arquette went this way
Mm-hmm.
in his skeleton tux. Pee Wee headed straight for us and sat down at the end of the table. Never said a word. Never looked at us. We just kept on talking. Finally, he looked up, looked around. He was like, "Oh, I don't know any of you," and walked away.
What the hell? Was it like long-haired goatee, kind of when he got caught in the adult movie theater? Pee Wee.
No,
Herman?
it was after. It was later when he
Okay.
was kind of. Was it about the time he did a newer movie, right?
Oh man,
There's been a newer Pee Wee,
I think
he had
so.
and he had a stage show. Was he on Broadway for a little bit?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, it was sometime in there. It was just, I don't know. I've never talked to any of these guys either. Thomas Jane showed up at all the San Diego parties wearing the same shirt, holding the same cigar for 3 nights in a row. It's just like, this is weird. This is craziness.
I met Thomas Jane in Dallas the first time I lived down here, and it was for a signing, and I was getting something autographed by him, and he was wearing sunglasses.
Mhm.
And I made a joke, and he kind of got like pissed off, and then he respected that I was making fun of him because he was wearing sunglasses inside in like a dark hallway, and I'm like, yeah, it's really bright in here. And then he goes, dude, I'm hungover. Don't give me any shit right now.
That's the feeling I got at all 3 parties when I saw him. But that's why I at a show like San Diego, when you see those guys on the streets or after hour, it's almost I don't want to talk to them because they're just they're just time off.
Yeah.
They're just trying to get somewhere. Like at the hotel, I ran into oh man, he's the voice of Cyborg on the Teen Titans. He was Ezekiel in Walking Dead.
The name escapes me right now.
Yeah,
but I know
he
the
walked
actor.
past me in the hallway at my hotel, and I so wanted to say something because hey, booyah! but he was on his way. He was looking for food or something.
Yeah.
I was with a group that was half drunk, and we got in the elevator at some hotel, and Sweets from Bones was already in the elevator. He was in waiting. He was the new kid.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
And that's my daughter's favorite guy. As soon as he died on on Bones, she stopped watching the show. That was it. Done. And I so wanted him to say something like that to him, but the guys I was with were just and he had turned around and was facing the corner like, don't talk to me.
Oh man, I got in the wrong elevator.
So just always something like that. But I never want to bug him. John Cassaday at the time of Astonishing X-Men, I was like, oh my God. But, at a bar, didn't want to mess with him. Yeah. I've missed so many opportunities.
I almost ran over Stan Lee at a Dallas Comic-Con.
Yeah?
I used to go to Dallas Comic-Con. I would get in there like on setup day because I pal around with some of the vendors and stuff. So I'd help them set up and then get in really early and then look around and find stuff that I was looking for.
Right.
But I was carrying big boxes and I see 2 feet. And I was like, those are like old man shoes. And I'm carrying these boxes and I lower the boxes and it's Stan Lee. I'm like, oh my God, you're freaking Stan Lee. He's like, I am. But he had like handlers, but they were walking behind him. I'm like, why are you guys not walking in front of him? I could have ran this man over.
Yeah. Keeping the path clear.
Yeah. But that was surreal.
My only run-in with Stan Lee was, again, at San Diego. After a panel, the hallways fill up of people going back and forth, back and forth. And we heard, make way for... Well, what we heard was, make way for Ang Lee. And we thought, why are they clearing the aisle for Ang Lee? And it was Stan Lee.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because that was later.
Yeah.
Because, man, I saw him. Was it at a Dallas show? It was at a Dallas Comic-Con. I passed by and he was doing signings and stuff, and he wasn't looking up. He didn't look around. So
I felt bad for him, like towards the later years, because I would see him at a con, and it was almost like the people, his like handler people, were just like ordering him around. It was like
Mhm.
he was just like a servant almost, just like
Yeah.
sign, and like they wouldn't. They were just like almost like a assembly line. I
Yeah.
felt so bad for him. I'm like, poor man. But
I can't even remember when that Dallas show was. It's only a couple years ago.
Hmm.
Shows. Remember those?
yeah, conventions. How many have I already asked you this? How many San Diego Comic Cons have you been to?
Oh, I don't know exactly which ones I missed. I started in 2005.
Oh wow.
And
So you've seen it really progress from like not that many people to just a ridiculous amount of people.
the first year I went, we got in press
Mm-hmm.
for the site. And when we walked up to the thing to sign in as press, they just handed out a stack of press badges, just like,
Wow.
for you and your crew, give them away, whatever you want to do,
Uh-huh.
And again, it wasn't full booths. It was just like glass cases, unless you were a big company.
Yeah.
But yeah. And then I went, it was like 6 and 7. I may have missed 8. I may have missed 10 or 13 or something. I missed a few in there
Mm-hmm.
just because of flights and expenses. But that's the whole reason we started doing news on the front page. We were just a forum until 2005.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, hey, we could get into San Diego free if we had a news thing on the front page.
Yeah.
And and then for a couple of years there, it was terrible. Security and don't stop in the aisle, keep moving. You can't stand here, get out of the way. You can't be out on that balcony. You can't go through these doors. It was just like, oh my, come on.
Is it still like that then? Is it pretty strict?
The last couple of times they laid off a little bit, but man, when they're first letting people in the doors, if you're pressed, they'll herd you upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, oh, the press line goes here. You need to go upstairs. And then you realize they're letting regular people, the con goers, which is cool. But why are we up here and people are going straight in the doors?
Yeah.
And then we have to circle around and then go in. But yeah, there's a lot of yelling, and it's very shoulder to shoulder.
See, I don't know. Like with this past year and the pandemic, I don't know how people will feel about, because I think a lot of people are going to be a little paranoid for the next year or so, being that close to so many people with, I'm assuming, no masks on. I don't know how this is going to go, but I just don't know if cons are going to be different from now on, at least for the foreseeable future, just because of what we just went through last year.
Well, I think I think a lot of companies are going to look at it as, hey, we can do this online, not have to pay for travel for all our employees, not to have to set up glass cases and big elaborate booths and the cost of hotel rooms in San Diego at that time.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of them are just looking at, we get the same reach.
Yeah.
By just doing, showing a YouTube video for an hour.
Yep.
And that's no cost.
Mm-hmm.
So, because I think the way the Marvel Legends guys were talking, they're not doing physical prototypes anymore.
Oh,
they're
wow.
doing digital and passing it, person to person until they finally print out or get a test sample or something.
Yeah.
So that makes me think, if they're not doing that anymore, what are they going to show at shows if they do go to conventions? Existing
figures that are already out that no one's excited for? I mean, how's that going to bring traffic to your booth?
Or ones that are right on the cusp of releasing? And I don't blame them, because, man, that's a lot of cost going to San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
Or Star Wars Celebration, or New York Comic Con, or Toy Fair.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of costs.
Absolutely.
That they can pass on by.
Just to get people out there, pay for airfares, pay for lodging, set up the booth space. There's insane from what I hear.
That's why there's not a lot of little guys at San Diego anymore. Yeah. And a lot of, because I help out a guy that does a lot of conventions, smaller conventions at selling stuff at shows.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't want to do San Diego or New York because of the costs.
Yeah.
And because of just how many people there are. There's almost too many people
Mm-hmm.
for stuff like that.
It's kind of
So he
overwhelming.
stays within Salt Lake and Dallas and Kansas City, and
Yeah. Dallas is a great show. I
it
do miss
is.
C2E2 is such a great show. Have you been to that one?
I haven't been to C2E2.
Okay.
I've
I
been to
know
Celebration in that building.
you were at Celebration. I saw you working in that booth. I was gonna talk to you, but you looked busy. There was a lot of people asking for stuff.
Yeah, and it's crazy at Celebration. It wasn't as busy as the one at Orlando a couple of years
Oh,
before
really?
that. That one was insane, just people wise. But it was the 40th and the new movies, and the stage was right beside our booth that they did a lot of.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So when somebody would be up on the stage,
You just turn around.
everything would stop. All the people would stop and just look at the stage. Selling stopped, everything stopped.
Yeah.
So we'd turn around and watch the stage for a while and then go back to working.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love Celebration.
I can imagine the Orlando one is a lot busier because you also have like tourists just coming in because they can turn it into like a Disney World vacation.
Yeah,
also.
yeah. And I was looking forward to last year was going to be Anaheim
Mm-hmm.
because I've never been to a Disney.
You've never been to like a Disney World or Disneyland?
And I especially want to go now with Star Wars stuff there.
Oh, wow.
But
That's crazy.
yeah, they canceled it.
Was there never talk with your parents of taking you guys to like Disney World when you were a kid as like a vacation?
We did a vacation to, we have relatives in Oregon, right?
Uh-huh.
And Seattle. When was that? It had to have been 84, 85, somewhere in there.
Mm-hmm.
We did a trip from here, Grand Canyon, San Diego, went to the zoo, went to SeaWorld,
Mm-hmm.
drove straight through all the way to Oregon.
Oh, wow.
and here's my dad. Here's my dad. Hey, look, Disney's out there. And kept on
You're
driving.
like, no.
Yeah, it was just like, oh yeah, that'd be cool, but oh well. I'm 11. I have no say in this. So we spent a couple of days in Oregon, went straight across Montana, and then down through the excitement of Nebraska and Kansas and
The excitement of Nebraska.
yeah.
Well, I wonder how it's going to be for you when you first experience Disney World. Because for me, it's completely different. I went there a few times as a kid. So every time I go to Disney World as an adult, I like feel like a kid again. And I see my kids there and I'm like, wow, that's how I was like, that's how excited I was when I was here. So I don't know how it's going to be for you. I'm interested to know like how excited you're going to be when you get to Disney World and you're like, you're here and you're like experiencing it all for the first time. It's kind of a different thing.
See, my two oldest have been to Disney without me.
They didn't invite you.
My mom took one of them, and then her grandparent took the oldest.
Mm-hmm.
So they've been. My youngest hasn't went, and I was half considering taking him to Celebration,
Mm-hmm.
and then we go to Disney, but who knows now?
Yeah.
I've been told it's nice. Wade has
Mm-hmm.
been a few times. Victoria has been a few times.
Mm-hmm.
And they just tell me it's awesome.
Yeah. I keep hearing great things about like the Star Wars area, like the whole Galaxy's Edge experience.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I've been to so many theme parks, throughout the years. People are like, this is just something that you've never ever experienced before. I'm like, now you got me interested. Like, what have I not experienced at a theme park that this would like blow me away? But apparently, it's completely bonkers.
I'm not, because Phoebes has went. He's flown the Falcon. He's built the lightsabers. That kind of just jealousy building. Yeah. And that's all I want. I just want to see like a full scale Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
Or go through I just like seeing stuff. I don't even care for rides or anything. I just want to see.
Yeah. Well, if you do make it to Disney, you'll have to let me know what you think of it.
As an adult, as a 40 some odd year old man for his first time going to Disney.
Yeah. Are you going to be like, it's okay, this is kind of cool, there's too many people here? Or are you going to be like, you feel like a kid in a candy store,
Well, I'm pretty used to, I don't mind being like at conventions when it's
that's
packed.
true. That's always
I mean, yeah, I would like to walk at a regular pace,
And not bump into people.
but I don't mind people being all around and stuff. Well, I didn't used to mind people being all around me and
Yeah.
stuff. My wife can't stand it, so we'll see how that goes. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's see here. Let's take a look at the chat. I did see. What's up, Josh Pence? How's it going, man? Good to have you in here. SO's Hunters is here. Ionica's toy reviews. C2E2 was amazing.
Someday. Oh, well, that was on the plans too at some point. C2E2.
Oh, it's awesome, man. I like it a lot though because it has just the best artist alley, and I collect like original artwork. So like the artwork that the artists use to draw the comic books, I actually collect some of that artwork. So going there, getting commissions done, buying the original art pages, it's awesome to me. So that's why I like C2E2. There's a lot of room there. I mean, you've been to there for the celebration, so
the McCormick Center. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of spread out. You do have walking room, especially if you go on like Thursday or Sunday. There's a lot more room. But I love C2E2. It's one of my favorite shows. I love the food in Chicago. Portillo's, Giordano's, Malnati's. I'm a big
Illuminati's.
Yeah. Dude.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to Portillo's, the Italian beef sandwiches? They're freaking amazing. I don't know if are you into like a lot of like meat and stuff?
Meat's okay. Yeah, I am. I'm trying to be like, no, I don't like meat, but I do.
Yeah, Italian beef sandwiches at Portillo's are freaking amazing. They pour this gravy on it. But yeah, I love Chicago.
I didn't get to go around as much as I've been to Chicago a couple times. I walked the mile. Well, the first time I was at McCormick Center or place or whatever, that it was for a FabTech show where they were showing lasers and
oh wow,
press brakes and machinery. It had nothing to do with Comic-Con, which is crazy to me because it felt like a Comic-Con with no comics and no people in costumes or anything. I was like, where's the cosplay?
And people having a lot less fun.
Yeah. These are all serious guys looking for serious machines.
Yeah.
But I went up and down saw the Marilyn Monroe and all that. And but for Celebration, it was all celebration.
Oh yeah.
Food, celebration.
Yeah.
That was that whole week.
Yeah. Such a great show. I love Celebration.
Oh man, that Celebration nearly killed me.
Did it really?
Last day, I got the con crud or whatever it was.
Oh no!
See, Eddie at Dorkside.
Yeah.
During setup, we'd talked, and I know him, so we had talked a few times, and then he was gone for the rest of the show. He was sick. He was at the hotel. I was like, oh man, that's a terrible way to go for a celebration. But the last day, oh yeah, I was passing out.
That sucks.
Attempting to pass out,
and then I had to make it home.
Not home. I had to go to another show in Salt Lake City for the next weekend. We went from there to I can't remember, Fan X in Salt Lake City.
And you felt like crap.
I took my voice and everything. My throat was like, you don't want to. It was terrible. It was terrible.
That sucks. I had a great time at Celebration. I actually, a buddy of mine had a vendor's badge that he hooked me up with. So I was in there before they let people in.
That's the way to go.
Yeah. So I met Ashley Eckstein as she was walking back to her booth. I got a picture with her. I saw Kathleen Kennedy. Did not say hello to her. When we were walking around, Dave Filoni was walking around, and me and Josh Pence and Toy Bills got a picture with him. That was freaking amazing.
I think I remember seeing that picture.
Yeah, just so many fun things at that. I probably spent way too much money just buying beer on the floor and drinking on the floor. Yeah, I drank a few beers on the floor, and then we were. I don't know if you remember it, but there was it the ice cream guy? There was a caravan of people dressed as the ice cream guy.
Oh yeah.
They were doing a little chant, and they were going up and down the escalators in like the food area, the center food area. So that was kind of cool.
I didn't get to
never see.
Well, I wasn't away from that booth a lot during the show. I got away for the Hasbro panel.
Yeah.
But thankfully the Hasbro booth was right across the way from right there. Did you make it through the line for the whatever the Empire or the episode 1 carded stuff or?
I did win one of the lotteries. I'm trying to remember which one. I won the lottery for the Lego set, and I got that. And then I was one of the first ones in line for, I think it was Gentle Giant, a Darth Maul statue.
Yep.
And then I did get, what did I get from Hasbro? The Darth Maul and the Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Episode 1 carded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I scored,
Yeah.
I scored, I think, all of the exclusives that I was looking for at that con.
I love Celebration.
Yeah.
It's just it's so focused. You go to most cons, there's this over here, this over here, this over here. This is all Star Wars, baby.
All Star Wars. Can you imagine how great Celebration will be with all the new stuff that's coming out that's being done the right way, subjectively being done the right way? With
Could you imagine all the just Mandalorian armors walking around at a
like instead of like, because we were like, I was excited to see like the Rise of Skywalker stuff. Like people went crazy when what's his name, Ian McDermott, what came out there and said, "Roll it again," you know, in the Palpatine voice. People were going nuts for Rise of Skywalker for the trailer, because I think that was the first time they showed the trailer was there, and seeing it live and hearing people cheer was amazing. But can you just imagine, because now the Star Wars fan base is together again because of Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the reaction of seeing like a trailer for Rangers of the New Republic or the Book of Boba Fett or the Ahsoka series? Oh man,
some early footage it's crazy.
Yeah.
Because at that one in Orlando, I didn't see a lot of that in Chicago, but in Orlando, there was tons of people. And I think that was the Last Jedi trailer, was that one.
Yeah.
And there were people camping out on the concrete, people coming up and you know, recognizing and saying something. And he's like, "I'm sorry I look like this. I slept outside last night to get into the Last Jedi panel or the 40th panel or Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, the Carrie Fisher tribute video." Yeah. But Chicago, I don't know. It just seemed a little bit more laid back.
You think?
Yeah.
In Orlando?
Which is not bad. It's still cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, with the Mandalorian stuff, just imagine it in a couple years.
I know.
It's going to be crazy.
I got to say, I think Celebration is probably the show that I'm looking forward to the most. When shows and conventions do come back, obviously Toy Fair's fun, C2E2 is fun, but going to a Celebration was just like unlike any other experience. The only other con that I went to that I think was up there, just because the experience was so amazing, was PowerCon for me, because I'm a big Masters of the Universe fan. And going to PowerCon in Anaheim, met Kevin Smith and Jason Mewes there. And then just seeing like all of the stuff that was coming out, because they were preparing for just a big like push for He-Man and Motu. Just, it was a really cool experience.
That was last year, right? That was the last one.
That was, I think it was 18 now. Was it 18 or 19? I don't remember at this point. I think it was early 19 actually.
Because it was 19 that Smith, they announced the show's coming, right?
Oh, that's true. Yeah, it was 19. Narc, confirm that. He was with me. PowerCon 2019. Thank you, Craig.
I haven't been to a PowerCon. Have you been to San Diego?
I have not. That's on the bucket list. That's one that I definitely want to go to. I'm just extremely intimidated by it.
What about New York?
Yeah.
Actual Comic-Con?
No. I have not been to New York Comic-Con. Just Toy Fair is the only one I've been to in New York.
I always get told, come back for New York Comic-Con. It's better.
Mm-hmm.
I've never made it back.
Yeah. That's another one that I'd like to go to, just to say that I have, just to experience that. All right. So, let's see. Chad did a super chat, Robo Disney vlog. So that would be cool. I would like to see like your experience real time as you're,
It wouldn't be me talking though. It'd just be me like this. Yeah. It'd just be me happy face the whole time.
That could be an intro for a weekly.
Yeah, just I'd be speechless, I think.
That'd be awesome.
Especially, oh man, yeah, Star Wars gets me. because that's the way because I've tried that at Celebration, but then I run into the X-Wing, the full size, and the TIE fighters, and I'm speechless.
Yeah, they had the TIE fighter, the full-size TIE fighter at Celebration. I got a picture under that. That thing was huge.
Mm-hmm.
Just seeing that in person, I'm like, man, so cool. I have a question about that. I don't know if you have a theory about this or a thought on this, but in Mandalorian, the season 1 finale, Moff Gideon was in a TIE fighter where the wings folded.
I can't remember what that's called.
It could get lower to the ground. I wonder if all TIE fighters do that. I wonder if that's like a thing that they do or no. He had
I think what we've seen before, and I think they show it on I don't know, was it a video game? Was it something that they're actually suspended from something and they have like a ramp that comes to the top of it?
When they're on the ships, when they're like
when they're on the ships and stuff. I think they just did the folding thing so he could land
and get out of it and not like have to jump 20 feet.
Because I think in Rebels you have to jump up and get inside or something when they land.
Yeah.
Because in Rise of Skywalker, doesn't Kylo fly a TIE fighter in? And it shows him running away from it, but it's just sitting on the top. It was like, how are we going to get this guy in and then have him get out?
He can force jump.
Because it's like a big extendo ladder.
Yeah.
Then you have to climb all the way down.
But yeah, I was always wondering, like when I was like, oh, I didn't know that the wings folded like that. I was like, do all TIE fighters have wings that fold like that so they can get lower to the ground when they're landing on the ground? Because I think that might have been the first time we ever saw a TIE fighter land on the ground. Like you said, they're usually suspended on those like that platform, the wires in the destroyer,
or it just shows them sitting in the distance.
Yeah,
whoever's flying it had already gotten out.
Exactly.
Because the X-wing needs a ladder too.
Yeah, it does.
But we see them jumping out of that all the time.
Right. Anyway, interesting.
Telescoping ladder, yeah.
We are coming up on the 2-hour mark, so I do want to. There is 413 damn people in here. Hold on, I gotta mute this. I gotta turn this down. Sorry.
I
got taken back. I have 413 people in here. How's it going, everyone? This is the biggest. This is the biggest damn live stream I've ever been part of. So
nice.
Once again, Robo, thank you for being here.
Oh, it's not. I love. Well, I was when this all started and everybody went to live streaming and stuff. I was nervous as hell because I have the security blanket of edits.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Doing it all in person, I thought, oh, I never could do it. That's stutter and stammer but I love this now.
Yeah. And again, no editing needed.
Yeah, no editing. Yeah, you just leave it. You just go.
Best part. So let me take a look at some comments here, and then we're coming up on the 2-hour mark. I said this was going to go 2 hours. We're going to do lightning round. So again, I have 10 quick ones, option A or option B for Robo. But we're going to do that. It should be fun. But let's see. Any other questions for Robo or myself before we go to lightning round? Did you get the Qui-Gon Hot Toys? Emilio Lopez asked. I got it. Yes. I have Qui-Gon and I have Darth Maul on the same shelf, and they look fantastic over there. And I hope we get a Obi-Wan from.
Have they not made an episode of Obi-Wan?
No, Sideshow's done it, but it wasn't that great.
I've messed with some of the Sideshow stuff before, and it looks okay from a distance, but once you start messing with it, it seems, I don't know, fiddly.
Yeah. What do they call that? A Monet, where it looks good from afar and you get close.
And then you're like, oh, no. I think I'd rather get the old Hasbro 12-inch stuff.
Yeah.
Remember a lot of that?
Yeah. NECA will release the 90s TMNT April O'Neil. Wonder if she'll be a 2-pack with the unmasked Casey Jones. What is your thought? If it will be a single box or 2-box limited edition, your thoughts? Cameron Phillips asked that. She is going to be so we're talking about the Judith Hogue. I think that's a single release.
I think they were, I think they're going to try to get what they can, but was it during that announcement? I think they're going to use it as an excuse to make another Casey Jones now that they have the rights to
Elias Codius. They got his rights. Oh, nice.
Yeah. After Oddly enough, after Judith
Uh-huh.
signed and was all that, I want to say she talked to him and he was like, okay, we can do
Yeah.
that. So I think
Yeah.
they have the rights to unmask Casey now, and a 2-pack would be perfect
Oh, that's
to get both of
awesome.
those out. But I can't remember if they said that or if that was just speculation at the time.
Well, I did say on a previous video that my movie NECA turtle line was fully procured and then I was done collecting those as soon as I get Token Razar, but I will come out of retirement to get that 2-pack.
That's
yeah.
where I am too.
Yeah.
I'm only first movie guy.
So you didn't get Token Razar?
Mm-mm.
No Super Shredder either?
Nope. Not because I hate him or anything. I got to draw a line somewhere.
That's true.
It has to be. And that first movie was a huge part of my teenage years.
Me too. That was amazing. That and the 89 Batman, the Keaton Batman movie.
Oh man, that was sweet spot. You can't explain the craziness of that year to people, and we see a lot of that with maybe like Avengers or Spider-Man or Star Wars or something. But 89 Batman was
the world
yeah.
became Batman fans. It was crazy.
Yeah.
I think my friend and I saw the 89 Batman movie in the theater at least 15 times.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we went so many times. I think one night we went 2 times in a row.
It was like, let's go back in.
Yeah. So it was huge.
Man,
I kind of feel bad for people that weren't like alive or were too young to experience that, because that, and same thing with like the Star Wars movies in the 80s, because that was just an incredible experience.
Yeah, I mean, I get. Well, like you get to. Were you in the hype for episode 1 and 2 and?
I was,
yeah. That was close. I mean, it's coming back.
Yeah,
it's at Taco Bell. It's at Pizza Hut. It's everywhere. Yeah. And it kind of leveled off after 2, I think. But man, yeah, there's a reason that all these companies are just rehashing stuff from the 80s.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
Because in the 80s, that stuff was late 70s, 80s was insanely popular.
Right.
Worldwide.
And everyone that was a kid back then is now an adult and they have disposable income and they got money to spend. So why not market towards us?
We're that perfect age of whole lifetime of this stuff.
Yeah.
From birth.
Exactly.
It's terrible for our wallets, though.
It really is. And drawing the line is something that I need to do better in 2021. That's actually one of my resolutions, is drawing the line and not collecting everything and not feeling like I have to get everything.
I kept saying this year or last year now, Marvel Legends, I'm only buying X-Men stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, this Spider-Man wave looks cool. Link. Into the Spider-Verse.
What's funny is I actually saw the Stiltman wave today at Target. I saw the whole wave.
Mm-hmm.
And I really, the one figure that I was like, do I need to get the whole wave, or can I just get the Peter B. Parker, the Jake Johnson Spider-Man?
Yeah.
And I was like, I could just get that figure. I saw it and I was like, and I passed on it because the Mafex is coming out and the Mafex looks so freaking good.
It does. But I'm afraid that they've went with the smaller scale for their Into the Spider-Verse line.
Oh, really?
Just judging by Miles. Miles is a bit small.
Is he really?
He's a bit tiny. And the way Medicom goes with some of those lines, like Suicide Squad was way bigger than their Batman line.
That's true. Yeah, it was.
And I'm afraid Into the Spider-Verse went smaller, but their like live action in-game or Avengers stuff is perfect scaled for figure arts. It's like line to line. They just give them to completely different line managers, and they're like, we're going to do it like this.
That's weird.
My thought on Peter B. Parker, though, is I got the Marvel Legends. I love it. The Mafex should be pretty good, but I can display him in costume or in a different style or something.
Yeah.
So run back to Target and grab that.
They had 2 of them. So
yeah.
The frog, what's his name? Frogman? The frog guy?
Frogman, yeah.
It looks cool too. It's so freaking odd and wacky, and it would go on a good shelf with just odd and wacky characters. But that's the other one that I would probably consider buying.
What about Stiltman himself?
Stiltman looks really, really cool. I like his gimmick. I like that you can buy multiple hand ninjas and make them taller and taller and taller, but I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
So much stuff. I just got to draw the line somewhere.
Like I said, I've been buying Transformers, all G1 stuff this year, and they're just sitting in boxes because I wanted them, but I have nowhere to put them.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yet
Until you make room. All right, so we have surpassed our 2-hour mark, but let's get to the lightning round once again.
Okay.
We're gonna say our goodbyes, and hopefully you come back here. This is fun.
Oh yeah, this is, like I said, I love doing this. Get to talk toys for a couple hours.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
All right. So are you ready? Once again, so it's going to be like an option. So I'll be like Marvel or DC, and you just say Marvel. No further explanation required or needed.
Okay. You're telling me not to ramble on afterwards. Okay, go for it. Get me.
All right, here we go. 10 questions. We're going to start with this one. Din Djarin or Boba Fett?
Oh my God. After last. I got to go Boba Fett.
Okay. Black Series or Marvel Legends?
Black Series.
Mafex or Mafex?
Oh. Mafex.
Oh. SH Figuarts or Mafex?
Oh. Mafex.
Okay. Vinnie Mac or Vinnie Paul?
Oh. No. Vinnie Paul.
Okay. Toddy Mac or Randy Falk?
Oh my God. Toddy Mac.
Okay. Hair on your head or hair on your face?
Hair on my face.
Me too.
I know that's at a different point in my life, I would have completely went the other way, but
me too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gimbal or beard tangler?
Beard tangler all day.
That story. So freaking funny.
I still hate myself for laughing too, but then I don't.
Luke Harper or Brody Lee?
Brody Lee.
And then the final one. Gus or Beef Boss?
Oh. They're looking at me. Beef Boss.
Wow.
For 2020.
Wow.
We'll see how this year goes.
Holy cow.
He's a lot
over Gus.
He opened up a lot more possibilities when it comes to silliness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Poor Gus.
I even moved Beef Boss into a Star Wars intro.
Beef Boss is an awesome figure. You passed the lightning round, so congratulations, Robo. Oh, look at that. You got the Gus head on the holiday one.
Yeah. I actually bought an extra one just to do this.
That's awesome.
And then I had to buy an extra one of these to put his head on a Bosk.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Bosk.
Beef
I
Bosk.
just got that.
It never stops.
That's fantastic. We did get one more super chat. So Stinkfist69 says, "What's up, guys? Do you remember The Rock and Mankind's I Quit match?" I remember just brief stuff about that. I remember that I felt bad for Mick Foley because The Rock was just hitting him, I think, with chair shot after chair shot in the head.
What? I don't remember. I remember Rock and Sock.
Yeah, they feuded for a short period of time, and The Rock it was so brutal. I think that match alone is the reason why they don't allow chair shots on the head.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was so I couldn't watch it again. I just felt so bad for Mick Foley watching.
Oh man, Mick Foley in general. Could you imagine feeling what Mick Foley feels now after
all that abuse, falling off that damn Hell in a Cell?
I know that's the go-to answer, but man, if anybody ever says wrestling's fake, it's like, well, here.
Yeah, watch this.
Yeah, watch this. He's got a tooth in his nose. Yeah.
And he was laughing.
Yeah, and he came back after being knocked out.
I know.
That's insane.
Oh, poor Mick Foley. Well, that was a little bit over 2 hours, guys. Once again, Robo, thank you for being here. Is there anything you'd like to plug before we go?
I do have I have a live stream next Tuesday on Twitch, which will be a
Sweet.
new experience.
Ooh.
It's not mine. I'm going to be on Heel Turn Radio, just talking about
That's
customized
cool.
action figures. So,
Oh, it's action figure. It sounds like a wrestling.
it does, and I think, I know the guy that invited me. I met him at a Minneapolis show, and I think the other guy on this, he does costume or ring gear for some wrestlers.
Cool.
So we'll see how it goes. But he said, "Customize. You want to come on and talk about customizing action figures?" And I'm like, "Hell yeah!"
So when is that again? You said
next Tuesday, 7 p.m. Twitch TV. Yeah, and I'm interested to see how the Twitch thing works. Have you thought about Twitch at all?
It confuses the ever living crap out of me.
I know.
I've watched Twitch streams before, and I'm just like, there's so many things going on, and things are not in the place where they should be, and it's just like, I feel like the old guy that doesn't get modern technology.
Why'd they move the chat to the other side?
Yeah, it's very intimidating for me.
Yeah. So I'm more interested. Well, I'm interested in talking action figures, but I'm also interested to see the backside of, not the backside, the
backside of
what all goes on there.
Yeah. Well, cool, man. I'll definitely tune in for that. And then also check out Robo and Veebs's Best of 2020. That was a great episode. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, it's so hard to pick 5. Yeah. I have a different list today.
So it's different from what you guys had in the video?
Well, I'll be rocking along and I'll look over and I'll think, oh, I forgot all about that figure. What about that? But
I was gonna ask you if Beef Boss moved to number 1.
No, that IG-11.
Yeah.
So sweet.
Yeah. After I watched that video, I was like, ooh, he's really convinced me to buy that IG-11, and I can't find it anywhere.
No, it's hard to find now.
Because it was an exclusive.
Yeah, dang it. And I don't know why they do that for a character like that.
Yeah.
It's almost like it's as if we'll just call it the classified method now. Just make it hard to get. People will love it.
Exactly, yeah. Well, if they ever reissue it, I'm definitely going to pick that one up because that one looked amazing in your video. So,
well, I'm hoping they'll reissue this and also give a IG-88 version. Man, that Black Series
too small. Yeah,
this is perfect.
Well, yeah. So anyway, guys, check out Robo's top best of 2020. I have some best of videos that I'm working on right now. I decided to split up my Cincy Awards that I usually do into multiple categories and multiple videos. So that's just my way of wussing out and not committing to a top 10. So yeah, I'm going to do multiple videos, multiple categories. So that'll be upcoming. But once again, thank you, Robo, for being here.
Oh, no, I appreciate you asking me. Come on, we definitely need to do it again.
Absolutely, and we'll bring Heel Wade in as well sometime.
And then when we start talking wrestling, he can just zone out. Yeah.
All right, cool, man. Well, we're gonna end the stream now. So thank you, everyone that was here. Appreciate all the super chats. You guys are awesome, and I guess we'll see you in the next one.
Yeah, see y'all later.
Adios.